Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Season 4 of the Elendor Chronicles. New season, who dis? This is a little bit of a holding screen right now while we do our casual, normal intro. So please bear with us for just a moment here while we get these things underway. If you've never been here before, hello, welcome. We are the Component Cast. This is a D&D 5e homebrew playcast, and if you're listening, thank you for listening. Before we get on with tonight's broadcast, there's quite a few things we need to cover outside of our normal remit of things that we have to do at the beginning of the show. You know, that happens as well, but there's a few cast changes as well that we need to get out of the way first. Plus, we need to prologue some stuff that happened at the end of last season, because there was a big what if, and we'll hit that in a moment. But before we get on, first of all, if you want to support the shows and support the broadcasters, one of the best ways to do that, if you want to give monetarily, is to either become one of our Twitch subscribers or to head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/componentcast. Patreon gives us the biggest slice of the pie and helps us create wonderful shows like this. We don't take a profit when we make these broadcasts, but every slice of money goes into evolving our creativity and allowing us to do wonderful things. We now create 3 shows a week, as much as we possibly can, and as well as many other things. We've got all sorts of supplements, etc. on the go. Hopefully another completely royalty-free soundtrack sometime this year. You're actually listening to some tracks from our royalty-free soundtrack. That's another way you can help us out by listening to our soundtrack on Spotify or wherever you listen to music, and use it in your broadcasts. We don't care. We're not going to take a single cent of money from you. It is completely royalty free, but if you want to share us around, then absolutely do so. As well, patrons get access to some really high quality renders. Also on that note, you can find all of our shows on individual podcast channels by searching the show titles. So this, the Elendor Chronicles, which is our D&D 5e show. We have our Urban Jungle or show, which is Trakoga Nights. We've got Zweihander, the whole back catalogue, as well as also all our new stuff. We have Lancer, which is absolutely doing work on the podcast channel. So hello, if you're a podcast listener and you're listening to the Lancer show, thank you so much as well for that. We also have all of our various other mini-series, like the Elite Dangerous Survival Zone special, the Goodies for Gobbies Red Moogle special, the House of Time special that I did last, was that Halloween or Christmas that I did that for? I think it was one of my Halloween specials. But anyway, you can get all of our podcasts on Podbean, Player FM, Podchaser, Listen Notes, Boomplay, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Castro, Castbox, Podfriend, Podaddict, Good Pods, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, YouTube Normal. I believe it will also soon to be on Apple Podcasts. But anyway, shows released on YouTube on the podcast channels at 12 noon GMT. Fridays for Elendor, Saturdays for Lancer, and Sundays from Cyberpunk when it's back from hiatus. Please remember to turn on the auto download of your favorite podcast app, and please sure to leave a review and share it with your friends where you can absolutely do so. All right, finally, we have some cast changes happening this time around. Sadly, to all of us, Mordred Viking is leaving the show for this season anyway. Life gets in the way sometimes, and we wish him well with everything that he's doing. It's been absolutely wonderful for him being here as Zep Skyspan. And don't worry, everybody, I am assured that Zep will make a return at some point. He will come back. He's just very busy, and to that regard as well, we're also missing Miss Ghibli Jam. She will be coming back to us though, but we wish Ghibli all the frickin' best, and hope that life finds a way to get you back to us very soon. She's doing fine. She's just, there's a lot going on, and we miss you. But before we get on with season 4, there's some big things that we need to cover. So I'm going to quickly set the scene now of where we left off, because it was a climactic finish to the season. And we left off with a climactic battle where one of the gem dragons assaulted the ambassadorial party being held by the party. Party on the party. But whilst the dragon was defeated, some desperate and party-altering issues and situations occurred. Not only did we leave off with the Skyfire itself hurtling towards the ground, somewhere an airship shouldn't be, but James, you rolled 3 failed death saving throws, which was kind of overlooked and lost in the craziness that ended the previous season. Now, James, you were swept up by Darius. No. Who was by? I thought it was Darius, Anton, and.
No, we got Valymr out.
I thought you got
somebody else swept in.
Breton must have scooped me up on the back of the dragon.
I get Valymr and look, a lot of you went down at the end of last time. That's right. You're in the legs. You're in the grasp of Aureus, I believe. Or no, Procopius. Sorry, not Aureus. Too many gold dragons.
Yes,
as well.
Aureus was not here. It would have been possibly a different story if Aureus was here.
Kaiju battle. That would have been great. Sorry.
I might be in the grasp of Aureus. I don't know if I lived yet.
Yeah.
And then in arms of a dragon. Anyway. Your lifeless body falls flat onto a meadow. Deep in a magical forest. Breton and Soul? Or was it Ruby? It's Soul, I believe.
I think it was Soul.
You dismount, and before you can even notice James, and Procopius turns back to his humanized form, there is a hooded figure standing over the lifeless body of James. The form is familiar, but aspects are different. You see a hulking shape, but the subtlety of a tail with braided vines and leaves intertwined. The cloak is a mantle of leaves and like bark sinew, and you see a furred claw begin to shine a magical light across your friend's body. And with that, Kinder Order, would you quickly describe how Gourd has changed since his time within the bark?
Well, the biggest thing you would see is the cloak, as Mitch described, and then once he pulls it back, his braids, instead of being adorned with the little trinkets of his own making and beads and stuff like that, they actually have either little flowers coming off, or a leaf bud, or an actual acorn. So these previously non-living adornments are now slightly living, and his fur has taken on a rougher texture. It's almost as it's gotten thicker, and the coloration's a little bit more striated to match the patterning of a smoother bark. And he looks at you with closed eyes and speaks as if, he's got all the time in the world.
And with the reveal of Gourd, let's get on with tonight's episode. Yes, new year, new overlays. Hello, everybody. We actually are going to zoom out from that small prologue scene to danger. Returning again to the ship that is falling and hurtling from the sky. Kettle, you have just essentially rolled in to the teleportation chamber that has only just finished setting up. And bursting through the door, you see Zep, who is on the ship. And they go and they say, "Ah, yes, Kettle. Take this and this. I need you to get the others."
They went the other direction. I don't know where they are.
I know.
Okay.
Tell them to keep going.
Okay.
We do not have much time. The ship is going down.
And so you're coming with so that we can...
I'm sorry, little friend. And he's going to push you.
Okay.
And with that,
She has 1 HP, so she has no resistance.
Yeah, exactly. You're like so dazed. You've been handed a satchel of various, like, it's like various weight, and you're kind of holding that satchel, and then suddenly you just find yourself going, and you see like magic around you get enveloped as you notice one of the wizards that was creating the teleportation circle opens another gate.
Oh. Okay. What's the last thing I see before I'm enveloped by magic?
So as the gate closes around you and you travel through it, you see just like pipe burst of steam, Zep being thrown aside, the ship just hurtling down. You see it sort of almost like at various points of it like disintegrating as it continues to rupture and rumble. And then suddenly around you, trees. And just wild environment.
Am I alone? Did that wizard come with, or
no? You are completely alone.
Oh, fuck!
Best reaction thus far.
Definitely. Kettle's like the tiny part of Kettle's just going like, I knew it. They left me alone. Do I have any idea where I might be? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it unseasonably wet?
Cold, but okay. Humid though.
Cold and humid.
So like mildew. There's like a mildew feel around you of like, you know, you're in an area that's like really heavily mossy.
Okay.
Almost semi-swamp, but not swamp because it's heavily, it's deciduous rainforest kind of.
Okay, Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
She, I guess, pings the area because she's still connected with, you know, the people that were originally on the connection. So it's like,
does that
on the
break
off
when
chance
you leave connection from them because they've portaled? Like, what's the range?
It's only a mile. It's only a mile, so it's incredibly likely it was not going to happen.
Okay, roll me an Arcana check to see if you can like re-up that little bit of connection because it's been broken so many times in rapid succession here.
Well, it's still connected. Just when you go back out.
Oh, is it automatically come back in?
Yeah, you don't have to redo it. It's just it lasts for a time and it only goes to a mile, so it doesn't say it disconnects or anything.
You ping. And you...
Whoever hears it, you just hear a ping.
Breton and Soul, you hear ping in your head.
Only Breton.
Oh, yes. No, sorry. Soul wasn't on it.
Yeah, Soul wasn't on it, and we had a limited number.
Apologies.
It's been a year.
It's technically been a year. Yes, you're right. You're right. It's technically been a year.
And we can still use that joke for at least 2 more days.
I'm using this joke absolutely. So Breton gets a ping, and Breton just kind of raises it up and says out loud to the people around him, "Ping." And assuming Soul says Pong, then Breton puts in back 2K in his mind. Pong. That joke needs to go through, damn it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good. Okay,
Kettle,
yeah,
you,
no.
you hear the response? Pong?
Cool. Kettle just immediately goes like,
One thing only.
God damn it. Kettle just immediately goes by, Zap's dead. I don't know where I am.
Zep is dead, and you don't know
Yep.
where you are.
I don't know where I am. I got teleported somewhere. I got teleported to the ship and then teleported somewhere else, and then you're here, so I guess I'm somewhere where you're at, but I'm in the middle of a forest. There's trees. Just a lot of that.
And with that, Breton and Soul, you see Gourd standing over the currently lifeless corpse of James. However, there is some sort of magical essence leaving Gourd's hand right now to, it seems to stabilize James.
Yeah, you get back you'll be fine. We're just kind of deconstructing something else going on. We'll find you in a minute.
Are you sure? I'm really hurt.
Yeah, at that moment, Kettle, as well, you just hear like "Ow!" in the distance.
This is her fucking worst day. She's a small creature. She's not big.
Small
She can
woodland
be
creature.
preyed upon.
Yeah, you are a prey animal. Anyway,
Ah,
Breton,
fuck.
Soul, Gourd.
To this memory, I don't think either of them have met Gourd.
Yeah.
Breton has definitely met
Yes.
Gourd.
Yeah, you
Breton
guys
definitely
you were
because
fighting for the cannon.
yeah, he hasn't been gone that. To be fair, like
Yeah.
in terms of length of time, he's been James and Gourd had been with the party.
Right. Since referee. Okay.
Gourd got
What
captured
before?
in
Yeah.
the same combat where Breton did 100 damage in one turn.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we were getting the lenses from the spell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That's when Gourd.
No, because Gourd was trying to help Breton get Ruby away when they
Yeah.
or so when he was captured. That was what was going on. I mean, this is unmistakably Gourd. This is the situation where like this is just another of his species. Like this is
No,
Gourd.
this is Gourd, but kind of like imagine if Gourd was combined with like a dryad. Like there's very floral nature about him. Like physicality of him has like changed.
Roll perception to see if Breton even notices if this is Gourd or not. Okay, that's a 21. So Breton is just
Yeah.
wait. Gourd?
Yes. Been a while, my friend. I'm glad to
Well-
see you all succeeded in the mission.
That's making a lot of assumptions, right? Where are we? And what happened to you? How are you here?
There was an arrangement made with the Emperor. Did Valymr and Zedaar not inform you?
Haven't
Breton
seen
kinda like-
Zedaar in some time. And Valymr, no.
Ah. Well. You all held up your end of the agreement, and I was released.
I imagine Breton just looks over at because the Ladron also came through this portal, didn't he?
He did.
So he could just confirm all this as we are speaking.
Slow look over to him, but his both heads can't.
Yeah, he's you actually see him like tending to some injured individuals actually. He's like making like he's got like a He's making like a pulp of various what looks to be like mosses, and he's like making like a wet bandage out of it.
We can figure this out later. How was James?
He is. It doesn't seem that his soul is with us anymore. But we might be able to bring him back if necessary, or we can allow him to pass on as is natural.
That's a choice you should be able to make. Shit. Guess we need to keep worrying about the living for the moment. If there's nothing we can do for him, Kay is lost in the woods somewhere. We need to find her as well. If you all need to stay here and help out, I'll go and do it.
I'll see you to James.
So
I can join you.
Kettle,
Breton, if you'd like.
as a note, you said a mile?
Yeah.
I've now got to try and work out if Bulb is currently in range of where you are. Because it's off the coast of this area.
Surely it'd be more than a mile from.
Yeah.
I think so, just about.
If your map is to scale.
It is to scale. My map is to scale.
And
Yeah.
either way, Bulb is anti-magic.
Well, the Reynard area is, but if you're on the southern tip of Bulb, then you'll be fine. It's just a normal island at that point.
I think Breton puts like 20 points of healing him to himself and say, yeah, Gourd, you're better at tracking than I am. We'll find her a lot faster. But, of course, you've actually never met Kay, have you?
No.
Young girl, Kinku, Ravenfolk, if you're not familiar.
Any particular markings that I should know of?
Breton will give her a
Unique
description
features?
of her. She has colorful clothes, a blue scarf, orange get-up, short. She carries this strange voice box around her throat that lets her communicate.
Are you connected with her now?
Breton will sing a Kay, are you still there?
Was something actually coming towards her? that bird
Does
call?
Breton get back panicked screaming?
Yeah,
currently
panic
being
bird
eaten.
noises. I'm gonna make Mitch.
Yeah.
What was the scream she heard? Like, was something actually coming towards her? And coming like
Make a perception check.
oh,
First roll! First roll!
First roll of the season,
Yeah.
let's go!
perception.
Yes.
For no reason at all, I'm going to take this as gospel of how the season's going to go. Oh, it's good.
30.
This season's going to go perfectly, guys.
We're 2 rolls in and
Don't
we've
say
got
that.
nothing under
Don't say
15,
that.
so you know what? No, this is
Oh, never
canon
mind,
now.
that wasn't the first one. Yeah,
To-
Brendan,
It wasn't.
To be fair, the minimum that would have been was a 22. So,
Actually, technically, the first D20 of this roll was Anrayne testing her initiative, and that was a 1.
Oof.
yeah.
Didn't qualify. We
We
weren't
just
running.
won't.
We weren't
just
live.
won't call that.
So 30 on the perception check.
Okay. It sounded like there was something very, very distant. Don't know if it's coming towards you or not, but it sounded like just a screech of something much larger than you.
Say, there's something in here that's bigger, a lot bigger. It sounds hungry.
Sounds like she's afraid she's being hunted.
That's the way of putting it.
Tell her. Ask her, actually, where the sun is in location to her, and then let her know that. Don't be scared of the eagle.
Don't be scared of the fucking raptor.
Gourd says, we need to know what direction the sun is so we know which way to look, and don't be afraid of the eagle was his exact words.
Who's Gourd and Eagle?
An old friend and Okay, we need you to focus.
Right. She has the feet. She knows the exact time of day and which way is north and the sun and everything.
Keen mind.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
word.
So just just
So
I
I
can say
have-
like
I-
north's to my right.
I
sun's up,
will make you
etc.
do an intelligence check for that because you have been teleported twice. This is more to be able to keep your bearings.
Okay. Intelligence check or save? Just check.
Check, just check.
Yeah, the eagle thing.
Yeah, freaked you. It's just like you work out that you're in the northern hemisphere.
Somewhere above the equator.
any landmarks or something we could use.
Trees. There's a lot. There's trees. I don't see the sky. It's very thick here. There's kind of a mossy smell.
I'm just sorry. I'm just not realizing. Apparently, your DC 30 perception check wasn't enough to see where the sun was.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a very, very cloudy day. You know, it's
Sure, Midge. Yeah. Just the. I guess, is there anything the DC 30 perception check did reveal to me that I could possibly give them? And it's like giving them an idea?
Wait a minute. Did they? You said that they were scared. What were they scared of?
So that there's some form of creature calling out from the distance.
Is it still calling out?
Is it still calling out? Yeah, this is a game of telephone right now. Is it calling out, Mitch?
Well, Shane has to ask me, so I can ask you, so you can ask the DM. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, says to Breton. Yes. Yes, it is.
Apparently so.
All right.
what? You get like that kind of noise in the background as well. It's just echoed.
No.
Oh boy, you're in the jungle. All right.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
You're gonna
She's-
die!
She spent all of her life in the capital city of her nation. This is the furthest she spent. The island was the most rural place she's been.
So
I actually have this spell prepared today, and I don't know why I prepared Locate Object today, but I prepared Locate Object today.
nice. Okay.
Hey.
I am just.
Oh,
It's
you-
not a mile. It's within
you-
1,000 feet.
You used locate object in the didn't you? You'd already used it in the what's it called? The part the summit, the second summit.
Trying to remember what I would have used it on in the summit.
You were trying to find.
Was it me that used it?
Oh, so one of you did. I know someone did for something.
We have two paladins because we have two paladins. These things happen. You know what? I'll just go have Breton cast Locate Object on Kay's voice box.
Good idea. Okay.
It's out to 1,000 feet, so if it detects any more of those, we're gonna have other questions.
Yep, just a pile of them. Stuff
You
of a tree.
you get a small ping like right in your distance, slightly to your north.
Oh, actually, I think I've got a beat on a gourd. She's not too far away to the north.
Shall we go?
Yeah, I think they can handle things here.
So, are you doing anything in particular at this moment in time?
Checking over James' body, checking over the Emperor's body, checking over the other Emperor's body,
Emperor's new body.
checking over the living and the dead. She's
Sure.
just seeing who is wounded, who's needing. But is James DED dead?
Yeah, he is DEAE. It's easy spell. He's
The
Can you
rolls
clarify,
were
is he deader than usual?
yes. The roll was I took a death fail on the ground hit, and then I rolled a natural 1 and took 2 immediate death
GG.
fails.
And that
So-
was more than a minute ago.
That was plenty of minutes ago. Yeah, probably about 10 maybe.
Yeah.
10 maybe. Been a while.
Fortunately, he's beyond my capacity to save right now. But she will close his eyes with the tarpo, put her cloak over him.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Guess you're not curing it now, bitch! All right. I win regardless. No, then she's gonna go check on the other people who aren't dead.
Sure. There are actually more than just James who are dead. There's quite a few didn't make it through, or have
Look, I've only got one cloak.
Some have succumbed to wounds that they sustained. Some of them more like some of the other delegations, and there is a whole mishmash of people here as well. It is various members of delegation, various sort of thing, and it's almost like a survivors camp. But the druidess that opened this. Who is just finished, you actually see her like committing one of the delegation from her party to like they've made like a grave out of vines and like flowers. They just stand up and they Spinnaborough City is nearly a 20-minute walk from here. If we can all get rest and recuperation there.
Soul will nod. One moment though, and she's going to go over to the immortal, Ladrin the Immortal.
Okay. Yes. Like he's like setting a broken bone from someone right now. Mm-hmm. But you just he just finishes like, and this person just with a piece of it's one of the delegation of the Guildsman's Republic. It's just got like a branch in their mouth, and they're like, "Oh,
Your Majesty."
Yes.
Are you hurt?
Not at all. Thankfully.
If it suits you, I can send you and your friends home.
I would like to see this through to a natural pause. Right now, there still could be danger. But thank you.
She will nod, and she will go to the Emperor and say the same thing. I can get you home if you need to go home.
He stands up. Well, actually, we're not too far from my home. We're in Spinnaborough. I'll get a boat from the capital across the Esmere and be back in seat in no time. And he kind of gives a... There's still a huge tension between him and Ladrin the Immortal, but they're both looking at each other like, no, respect, you didn't run. And there is a big problem here.
I could get you both to come to terms for a moment. Neither of you know me. Well, she'll point. Actually, I think, Godric, you have kind of met me. You met my...
I know your soul.
Yes.
He smirks. The double meaning of that.
I'm glad some of us do. By this point, you have no doubt understand that my group and I were truthful in our allegations of what is going on. And that there is a bigger problem.
Aye.
Can we call off this war for now to address it?
I will hold off my armies if the Emperor will hold off his. It seems the world is far less coherent, and my understanding of it is far less palpable than I thought. And I'm no stranger to admit that. And the Eladrin the Immortal doesn't verbally reply, but he just sort of gives a soft nod.
Visible sigh of relief. Thank you.
We can prance about exact terms later, but I have no quarrel right now when things such as that beast might be coming, and who knows what else.
Not that one, presumably. It had one of the seals in its gullet. It's probably still at the bottom of the ocean. Along with my ship. Is there any way we could send some sort of rescue to it?
I will. The ships in the area, they were also sunk by the creature, but Legrung's land had sky ships nearby. I'm sure with Joanna being returned to Legrung's land, the Emperor is far aware of what's going on. The Emperor of the Iron Duke.
Yeah.
Sorry, too many royal titles right now. I would hazard a guess that they will report.
Okay. Thank you. She will go to join her friends.
Okay. Then it doesn't take you too long to find Kettle, considering you've got the ping. I'm guessing they find Kettle kind of sheltered next to something. Considering the fright and the HP.
Yeah, I suppose so. I was gonna say she does have a thing. She can just become invisible now, but I don't know necessarily if that's available to her until we sleep.
Your level up doesn't count until you've rested comfortably.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, no, she's there. She's kind of behind it, I guess, like in some roots or something, just kind of waiting to be picked up.
Yeah, you're in like an old fallen like log that's very damp but hollowed out, and you've managed to like push some brush to the side and like camouflage a little kind of roost in there.
You'd see Breton and Bud riding on the back of a giant eagle showing up.
Traitor.
But eventually Breton, Soul and Gourd, you do find Kettle.
There you go.
Got to get back into it. Flow is
Yep.
Flow still.
You'll get there.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I haven't called her Kaylee once. Have you know?
To be fair, there's no more ship for her to be a mechanic on, so.
Sol will walk up to Breton and say, "They have agreed to a ceasefire for now."
Apparently Ruby just caught up with us.
It's what.
Oh no,
It's
we went and
Yeah.
got K and then went back, right?
Okay, so this
That's
is
what it
us
was?
coming back. Okay.
I think you find her and then regroup with everyone with that, unless you had something special to say whilst Kay was alone, or did you?
No. I guess we can just wait to talk about it until everybody gets back. So yeah, we'll just grab Kay and we'll make our way back to the camp.
I'm going to find Valymr.
We'll have to
beneath
find
that.
everyone.
One at a time. And she will close her eyes and mutter an incantation and focus on Valymr. And Valymr's head will hear the sounds of soul. Presumably he's in a place that's not anti-magic.
He's,
Valymr.
Am I conscious?
We'll get to that.
Valymr, are we alive? This is Soul. Where are you?
You are conscious, family. You have been pumped full of what's it called? Health
Healing
potions by I guess Anton just freaking shoved one down you got it. I believe actually, if I remember correctly, Darius fed you a healing potion as you were grabbed by Anton and boofed out. So it was like one fell swoop and an excellent play there by Miss Roach. At the end of last season.
I'm here. I'm alive. I'm with Darius and Anton. I'm on Bulb. Did everyone get out okay?
I'm here. I can't respond, but limitations, unfortunately. But she will cast it again and go, "We're okay. I'm here with Breton, Kay, Gourd. James dead. Zep unknown. We'll respond again soon."
Zedaar is still safe in the Eladrin Empire.
Yeah, actually, Gourd, you would know as part of the deal that Eladrin the Immortal made with you all, that Zedaar is also on another mission for the Emperor, which was part of the deal. Do with that what you would do.
Well, that's more or less good news. What about Zep?
He's next. I'm burning off 2 spell slots for 3, excuse me. I still have...
This would be your third, actually.
Yeah, I've got plenty.
After that fight, I'm surprised. It's not like we've rested.
I did not use a lot of spell slots. Believe it or not.
You used a lot of your top end, but I believe,
Yeah.
but your middle end is a little. You didn't have to use. I think you burnt your 5th, your 6th, your.
Yeah, no, I've
big
got.
shit.
Well, this sending is going to be cast at 4th because I've used haste, or I used haste, or not haste. Cast haste.
Yeah,
Thought about it.
I
No,
thought
just
something
holy
happened. Yes.
Yeah, I used. Yeah, anyway, she will cast sending again. Zep, this is Soul. Are you alive? We are mostly all together.
Yeah.
Y'all can see Soul's sigh of relief.
Yeah. Little worse for wear. Absolutely devastated. Hard work down the toilet.
You don't have to do this.
Oh, this is Zep holding his head. Is what it is. I am gathering survivors.
Zep's alive. He's gathering survivors.
Well, it's just almost everyone.
She will cast again. Where are you? If you go to the closest major city, I can come get you. We are probably going to reconvene at Bulb.
I am in the middle of the ocean. There is Legoland's Land of Wash's war vessel above. I'm going to continue salvage operations.
There's no response from that.
Can you check? Wait, he's got a few words left. Find time to check in on Braun and Joanna.
1 4th level spell slot left.
When you can.
We need to reconvene. Spinabo isn't too far away. Be a good place to rest and regather.
All right. I mean, are people here fit to even move? I wasn't here checking them out.
A lot of dead.
The rest of the group, like that's been with you, have basically either buried the dead or readied the rest for being able to get to the city.
Those that can are just about ready. Your Majesties, will you be going with us to Spinabo? Speaking to both Eladrin the Immortal and Emperor Godric.
Godric already said that he would because he'd charter a boat from there.
Yeah.
And then, the Eladrin the Immortal said he's not going in until he knows at least everyone's sort of safe and planned out. He feels, as the person who kind of, him and Godric both kind of, you sense. Actually, give me an insight check.
While these last preparations are going, Breton is going to spin a second level to cast Find Steed and conjure his source.
Sure.
7.
And he is going to offer that to anybody who's not quite in the shape to be moving themselves.
Yeah. Okay. In fact, the person that one of the people that takes your horse is one of the ambassadors from Benumdum, which is he's a 4-foot badger.
One of the badger guys? Okay.
He's the badger guy. And he just goes, "Oh, I think you can." And he's got his arm in like a makeshift sling. Yeah, should be fine.
So that's everyone but James that survived. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the irony that the moment that we lose James, apparently Gourd has returned.
I can speak with James if we want to see if he wants to come back.
That was something that I mentioned, yes.
I can, but it would require another day, at least.
Imagine if anything, he's going to want to come back because he has unfinished business with the plague.
It depends on where he's gone.
Always
or
best
where
to
his
ask.
soul
regardless.
is gone.
Well, unfortunately, his body's not going to know where his soul's gone.
It's right here. You can make the joke, I can't. Screw you both.
With you all gathering up and getting ready to move to Spirit Barrow, we're going to zoom out slightly and land in on Valymr, Anton, and Darius, who you're all in Anton's tower, essentially. And it's just like a collective. What just happened?
We got our asses kicked by a dragon. James is dead. But hey, last time I was in Bulb, I died and I came back, so maybe you can come back too.
Well, you died, and then were brought back in a rush of a few seconds. It's been 20 minutes since he died. So that does have a, at least I'm told from my.
I don't know how that kind of magic works. My understanding of magic is limited to powerful thing gives me ability to do thing.
Yeah.
That's
I get it through osmosis just from him, and points to Anton.
Yeah.
How does it work, Anton?
Oh, well, it depends on the spell.
Short.
Yep. It's not impossible for him to come back, but it's highly improbable.
shit.
So
What happened? I guess I got dunked on by the dragon breathing.
Oh,
on me.
yeah.
What happened
yeah.
after that?
Yeah, you got beat down really bad, bud.
It was closing throws. I mean, it wasn't
Is
that
it dead?
long.
That's
We
didn't have time to check.
we bamfed. We got out. I don't know if you've ever like seen like what happens to plate mail when you hit it with like a blunt object repeatedly. You know, it like concaves in and crushes.
Yeah.
The world around it
hasn't?
started doing that to the dragon, and then poof, we got out before it went poof.
The hell does that even? The dragon piece of paper and
Yep.
It was wild.
I think if that started happening to me, I'd kind of hope to be dead beforehand because that sounds painful.
We could only hope. Though we weren't doing so well against it. So, you know, hopefully it's gone.
It seems everyone else got out. I'm sure some are dead though. Like,
James is definitely dead.
yeah, I mean, but there was like 100 people at that party.
Oh, right.
There was people that you guys know that there was people that died in the room, like were like thrown about by the waves and stuff, and then like the mind blasts of the the fact that you guys withstood those mind blasts was wild. Others very much not so fortunate.
Yeah.
Attic, was there any like notable names that I would like? Oh shit, that specific guy's dead. I like that guy.
Make a
From the list you made is dead.
Yeah, no. Give me. It's a good 70% of the list is gone.
Cool.
Well, no, it's less than that because some people bamfed out right away. But out of the people who remained, a good 70% did not make it out. It was,
sounds like we might
one
have
of the
just
most notable
helped
deaths.
the enemy.
However, one of the most notable deaths, however, probably would have been the King Bishop.
Oh.
King Bishop of.
So, as far as you know, the King Bishop of Albert, the essentially the Pope.
Boniface? No.
They ran to a wing where there was no escape, and the island doesn't exist anymore. Also, as far as you know, the entire all the academics in the library, you have no idea if they got out or not.
Do I have any of the people came from Atria? Do I know of their fates? Like, the last I saw of Procopius, he was alive, flying around. But the other people that came with Atria, did any of them? Did I see bodies of any of those?
No.
Okay.
The Atrians were pretty quick to get out. As it basically, those who had means of their own escape looked to either stay or fight or do other things.
What about Faithrith?
Faithrith was towards the back of the room, so he's most likely with the survivors.
Okay.
Basically, it was the people at the front that got screwed over, essentially.
Is there any way that we can make our get to Spinnaber, the city?
It's pretty spent, I think.
Yeah.
Even by boat?
We can get a boat and get there in about the same time I can rest and teleport. So
Let's rest and teleport then.
okay.
Yeah, for you, I was thinking that might just be better.
Yeah.
You just had a very traumatic experience.
Can I check myself for like injuries? Like, is there anything specifically that I'm really badly fucked on, or is it just I don't know, took a knock to the head from that gravity breath?
I'm pretty sure you were like almost. I think you were crunched on, weren't you? At the end, I'm pretty sure you were
No,
bitten. I think you were stood right below. You went right below the phantasmal one.
No,
and
he definitely blew on me. It
Oh,
was
okay.
a breath weapon to put me down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the breath weapon, because it's basically the way that feels is it feels like the air around you becomes solid, and then pressures you, and then with that there is just screaming in your brain. So it's imagine like your head being squeezed from both the outside and the inside is the feeling of that.
I have chronic migraines. I
Yeah.
know what it feels
So
like.
you're basically being attacked by a phantasmal killer too.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Do I feel any like resonance effects of that?
You ache, that's for certain.
You've just had, I think, a basic healing potion. You have not,
yeah,
like,
you are.
You have nothing else
I'm
has been
on-
done to help you.
So I will change my wounds from 140
To 132.
but I didn't go down that far though. So it's fine. I got like 8 HP then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. I hurt a lot.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's probably gonna keep going for a while. Just give yourself some rest, have a good night's sleep, you'll feel all better. Because that's
Gonna
how our
commandeer the
universe
bed
works.
then.
Well, I mean, we could go to there's the nice there's a nice little cottage down the road. You know, my mother could
Let's just go
Make
home.
you-
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go to your mother's house.
stay away
I'm-
from the big house. Kind
All right.
of, yeah. I don't think.
So you go rest. Everybody else, you begin traveling towards this main Spinnerbellow. And what you're greeted with eventually when you see the town is it's interesting because the city itself looks like it has like lots of phases to it, if that makes sense. Like there's original town there, then there's like a whole completely different architectural design there and there and there, and the actual town itself is like multiple ringed like forts with roads in between them. If you've ever seen like a Motte and Bailey castle, like the old style, but imagine loads and loads of Mottes and then a couple of Baileys, all interconnected with like roads in ditches up until you get to a more shanty town towards the coastline, and it's in like a bay, surrounded by this thick forest that you've been in. And you begin to progress to it.
I don't know that they've been in contact with Zep, so I would just use my Zep sending stone just to
Okay.
see that he's okay.
You get the same as what they got, basically, as a heads up. He also tells you the same thing. Has anybody spoken to Braun and Joanna?
Not yet.
Copy that. He lets you know Valymr, because you've got the sending stone. To like go back and forth with him a bit easier. He lets you know that the current count of survivors is 47 from the ship.
Remind
was
me how many we
200.
started with?
Over 300.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's major.
I'll let Darius know that, because Darius trained them all.
Do you really want to?
Tell Darius that more people he trained died. Yeah, that's a great
Shit!
move.
Wait!
What'd you want to say, Valymr?
No, wait. Zep's alive.
It's good to hear.
The ship crashed. He's bloody adrift in the middle of the ocean, but there's a Lagerungsland airships going to be picking him up soon.
I'm sure they'll all be fine. I mean, they're very well. Sorry, they're all very well trained. This is serious. They're very all well trained, so they'd be fine, right?
Yes, they're the people we care about are going to be fine.
Anyway, Breton, Gourd, Kettle, Soul, and the Emperors, and the ragtag group of ambassadors, you progress through this. It's a city, but it is like 5 cities because of these various like walled entrances. And you also know who just like on the banners and like the style, there's a subtle difference to each style, and in each part of like the city also has like different colored banners. It's quite vibrant and quite pretty, and it's got a mix of that like wooden Rhiannian style, but also a bit more of a Sylvian sort of wood elf sort of vibe to the architecture as well. So there's a lot of like carved structures, a lot of interweaved gardens and trees, etc. It's a cultural mix. Put it that way.
For those who are injured, I suppose we should find a hospice to put them first. After that, it's about finding everybody a way, a chance to get their home.
The archdruid of Spinabar, or the high druid, she looks and it's just, we have a hospital in the North Dial. We can all rest there. Those of you who do not have journeying to continue on.
Valymr mentioned that they were going to be coming this way, so...
A good place to wait then. I'm sorry, I'm really spent right now.
Have you all had your wounds tended to?
Soul looks like has been put through the ringer. She's more than bloodied.
You'll see. Gourd will kind of just open his cloak a little bit, and these little motes of light will flutter out almost like fireflies, and they'll come over and land on your shoulders and stuff like that.
Get your pagan magic
flutter
off
around
me!
you. And I'm gonna use some charges of Balm of the Summer Court and give you some
Okay.
healing back.
Nice.
Elf magic!
Classic ranger ability.
The druid ability.
Definitely ranger ability there, Val.
Classic ranger.
We have a druid!
You know what?
How
What do
much?
you think he drew on?
Being a tree for a couple of months really changes a man.
Well, now his bark is worse than his bite.
Oh.
I hate it.
Meow.
It was good. It was good enough for me to hate it. Fair enough.
Meow.
Right.
Meow meow.
I'm
How much
gonna
my heal
roll
bore? I'm sorry.
3d6 for you.
Okay.
You'll get 13 HP back, and you'll also get 3 temporary HP.
Oh boy, I'm still bloodied, but I'll take it.
Breton is just going to give you 40 lay on hands.
I am at a sliver of a single paper cut on one finger.
It's just,
If
you
one-
just go,
I-
oh,
I'm missing one HP. The spot-
It's like, have you seen the film Crank 2?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just suddenly adrenaline.
She looks infinitely better, except for the one finger, which is a little slice across it.
No, it's just like one of those things where it's just like you've got like slightly like blood on the end of the nose, like they do like in films, where it's just like ever so slightly like lip cut. That's how damaged you are now.
Kay's just in the side, just going like, "You look really good, Ruby." And there's just blood coming out.
Cough and feathers.
Yeah. She sits on 1 HP of health.
No,
You would have gotten then if you were that bad when I first came up to you, I guarantee you, me and Breton both would have administered some sort of aid.
Nobody
so
said
that
anything.
would
The
be-
hands left that chest piece.
We hand waved the whole discovery
Yeah.
you part.
did. I will say though, eventually once you get to the hospital in the North Dial, there are clerics that attend to all of you, and you begin a period of rest. Is there anything you guys want to discuss, or would you like me to try and regroup everybody?
Who are you?
Brett really wants to ask Gourd how this all actually came about, but it seems like this would be a kinder thing to wait for Valymr to be here to do that. So
I will say, we were on that island for like a good couple of weeks at least. I would have said about, by the way, Emperor
we
said
knew there was a
Gourd can go-
plan to rescue
Yeah.
Gourd.
Yeah.
We knew there was no
Actually,
actual inaction
Valymr,
to do
you
it,
didn't
and it
know
was
that
still in discussion.
Gourd was roaming. You thought he was still a tree.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
'cause
last
it's-
we had heard, it was still a plan to free Gourd. It was not
Yes.
actually Gourd was free.
Correct.
Okay.
That
It
is-
was like
that
a
is
week
correct.
after the party, right? Yeah. We had the festa. I can't remember the winter ball, the solstice ball, and then
From
like a week later. How long was it after that?
Well, you're currently like 3 months on from that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So there
yeah.
would have been plenty of time. Yeah, because
But
Zeraj.
the Gourd return was sorted by Zeraj, but Valymr was already back with the rest of the group
Mhm.
when things. So there's side quest that happened. There's a side quest that
It's just-
happened.
When Gourd said, "Did Valymr not tell you?" I'm here racking my, Lambert dyspraxic brain,
Oh, no,
wondering if there's some shit I'd forgotten.
No, you're completely fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, who's the new person?
This is Gourd.
Still okay.
They were a member of the Skyfire back before even I joined. They were captured at Redbury during an operation that was being done against the Empire.
Oh,
You said earlier that I had made an assumption that you had won that battle. Was I wrong?
We
You
did.
all not?
We managed to get away. You were the only person that was lost, and there's a long discussion about how we were going to be able to do anything about it, but the more we looked into it, the more it seemed like it was just not something that would have been reasonable.
I believe the term is Pyrrhic victory.
No, that's not the term, because Pyrrhus doesn't exist in this in this world.
give us the equivalent,
If-
Midge.
If Paris existed in this world, he's definitely from Atria.
That's yeah, that's probably right.
We captured the spell cannon, momentarily broke the siege on Redbury, but So you can see things kind of moved on from there.
Is there anyone else part of the group I haven't met yet that's going to be showing up on potentially?
Oh, you're gonna love Darius.
Spent 2 weeks on that island. That person
Kay's
was
life
there.
was
Met
saved by
Darius.
Darius.
Yes. It's like multiple.
Breton kind of racks his brain. Have you met Zedaar?
Nope.
You might run into him at some point.
Right.
Is he faring well?
He's putting
Last we
together
saw,
the
he was
Bethany
aiding.
bureaucracy.
He was aiding, the Atria delegation there. Trying to put it back on its feet.
I'm glad to hear that he still stands.
He's stubborn.
Good.
And what about you? Is there anything you want to tell us? I mean, obviously you've been gone for a while, and I don't really know how to pass what you've been through without just hearing it from you personally.
I don't think it's an experience that can be summed up in words. To have your flesh made and unmade into something natural that feels right.
Soul just gives you the longest look.
He just
Right,
looks like kind of like looking back and forth between him and Breton, just like giving like, you hear in your head just like, is he all right?
Breton just nods and says, seems fair.
I'm just glad that you all are here and that I've been able to make it back to you all.
Yeah, it's good to see that you are back. Valymr did mention that they were trying to get you back and that there was a plan to free you, but the last we'd heard of that, it was just something that was still being worked on. So to just see you here, I guess Zeraj must have come up with something. Is Zeraj also well?
She is. She has some other errands to attend to for now. And he'll kind of smile at that.
Right.
If you are wondering how I am here in earnest, it was due to the arrangement of following through with your end of the deal made to, I guess, get everyone together for the conversation to be had, to gain some peace in this conflict and face the greater threat united. It seems we've gained that, but lost much, much more. Judging
you'd
by the
hope.
death toll.
Yeah. The hope was that it might show the powers that be just how dangerous the current situation for the world is, but unfortunately that came with a bit of a cost. One that I don't think any of us could have predicted something like that was going to be what attacked.
We knew, well, suspected that they were going to do something. But the scope was a bit more than I envisioned, yes.
I never imagined that the entire island would just... Actually, I guess we didn't see the island go. I could never imagine something like that could have just done so much damage to the island. Like, it was more of a natural disaster than a monster.
Mine was a risk-reward. I didn't think they would risk losing one of the seals.
Did they lose it?
As far as I understand, when last I saw it, was consumed when the dragon was consumed. So perhaps broken. But if anything else, it's at the bottom of the ocean, which could be a blessing or a curse.
What is the current state of the seals?
More have been broken since. She will look towards wherever Godric happens to be.
Who is using them?
Can Brett make an insight check on Gourd?
Sure. What are you trying to incite?
Gourd's obviously changed in his time gone.
Mhm.
But Gourd was gone before we really started making a serious effort to gather the seals. If memory serves. Because we didn't start trying to gather the seals until after we'd left Retbury.
We had just started finding out about them, and that we needed to protect them because we had one in hand, I believe, at the time. We didn't have one yet.
You hadn't had
No,
one
the first
yet,
one we got
but
Was
Gourd did
Valymr's
know
dad.
Edorcause.
Yeah.
Gourd did know about the seals. Because before you were hitting Retbury anyway, that was a side stop before you went on your investigation of you. Like, he knew that you were all going to go and look for information about the seals, so he had at least a passing knowledge of they're a thing. I know they were a thing, and I would assume that Zaraj and Gourd in their time that they had to catch up would have kind of info dumped a little bit.
Catch up. Nice.
I'll just say that most of the ones we found were already under the hands of some fairly capable safekeeping, and the other ones that we managed to get our hands on are now also in safekeeping. And Breton, I'm just gonna look around. Like, I don't know if we're having this conversation in a public area, but obviously, like, we're in a major city. It's something that we try not to talk about, considering the more people that know about it, the more dangerous it is.
You're in the wing of a hospital that has been very much kept to all of the people that were survived from that ambassadorial thing, and then these druidic clerics that are treating people, essentially the nursing staff.
Yeah. For all we know, the person that Procopius thought had infiltrated into the island is here, so...
Possibly. Yeah, you did never find out who the traitor was.
No, we didn't.
Chick with an amulet.
Maybe. Or maybe they like the flavored fish that is red.
Breton, if you're worried as to why I'm asking, it's just to catch up and figure out the state of things so I know best where to aid everyone.
The unfortunate side effect of this entire endeavor, Lord, is the party is somewhat divided.
Well, why not reunite?
Not physically divided.
I understand. Why not reunite?
I have no issues with that.
What has us so divided now that's different from when we were going after the spell cannon together?
Weapons of mass destruction and ideals.
Ideals are for those who have the time to not worry about the threat of the world ending.
I know.
And with closed eyes, he'll look all around at you. Can we put those aside and focus on the greater then? And reunite?
Soul will look to Valymr.
He's not here.
Who's not there yet?
Not a question for me. One of the biggest issues we've had is remaining impartial to this war while having to besiege both sides. Some of us wanted to prevent the use of the weapon entirely and cure it. Others wanted to hold it as leverage. As you said, ideals.
A trap that is always armed is dangerous, no matter what, even if it's not around anybody or nobody passes it. It's better that the trap not be there in the first place. So
Doing
using
so
such a thing as leverage would not be wise and would build a lot of resentment and cause an attack later on. Just to repeat the cycle.
Acting either way removes our impartiality towards it. Bigger things to worry about.
Do we need to go someplace more private to figure out what to do next?
I think we need Valymr for that. And Zep. And we need to contact Joanna and the Iron Duke to make sure they're okay.
So
tap spells.
with that, you will take a long rest here. So I'll give you a long rest on the sheets, and Anton brings Valymr to the rest of the group.
I think the first thing that Valymr will do is you'd want to check in with Gourd. Like, he wasn't aware that he was set free. Seeing him in such a strange state, I guess, is going to be quite a shock. So he would probably just try and get acquainted with new Gourd.
Meet the new Gourd, same as the old Gourd.
Slightly different, but
I'm also
what-
still a little
It's what's
concerned.
inside that counts.
I think he's a little more grounded now.
Really got to know his roots.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I will.
He's really turned over a new leaf.
Kay will
True
jump out a window.
down-to-earth character.
Go,
Still-
guys, get them all out now. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm still curious. I mean, I understand you've been released. How did you come to be in the woods where we arrived at? I mean, this is pretty far from the Eladrin Empire.
You
Soul's gonna
are
transform back
amongst
into Ruby.
a druid grove, are you not? Do you see those aiding you and healing you?
I
This
do.
is-
It's just
Part of where I came to reacquaint myself with what I had become.
where is James's body?
In the hospital. Ruby will appear. I just transformed back. Sorry, I rolled the saves. Ruby will appear. His body is interred at the hospital. Valymr, nice to see you're still alive.
Likewise. He's gonna go into the hospital. He wants to pay his respects to his friend.
Sure. You are all at the hospital, but I would say you were kind of out in like more of a, not in like
We
a
weren't in the
ward.
morgue.
You weren't in the morgue. Well, there isn't a morgue, so to speak, especially with this hospital, and because of the faith that is leading it here. However, Valymr, you do see, when you enter, you see there is a woman there standing over James's body. She is familiar to you, as she was at the island. She has long, like, very gaunt features, very long red hair, and she's holding a goblet, and she's putting like water from that goblet and splashing it onto James. And as you see it splash onto James, the water turns to blood red.
Hi. Excuse me. What is it that you're doing right now?
This is this poor soul is from my home, and I am performing the traditional funerary rites of Havare. And you actually see that she's got like you've seen symbols of like the Chevaliant before, like they're like the Chevaliant is, you know, the Nardathelian pantheon, where sometimes they'll just use a symbol of a saint or whatever. And then the Chevaliant also has its own symbol. This individual has that symbol but upside down.
Interesting.
And with that as well, they have like a it's that, and then embossed in it there is like a red cup. Yeah.
Valymr's gonna put his hand on James's chest and just say, I hope I'll see you soon, my friend. And he's going to cast Bless for as nothing as it's going to do. He's going to cast Bless.
Mm-hmm. She kind of nods, and she's speaking a prayer in Theonian. And she basically lets you know she is performing rites in order to make sure that his blood maladies don't take over the corpse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Basically, keeping the more human elements of James. But I think you would recognize this individual as they were introduced as Blood Matron Wilhelm of the Sanguine Ossuary. They're part of the Havare ambassadorialship.
I'm glad to see you got off the island in one piece. I hope the rest of your delegation were similarly lucky.
Myself and the Queen made it off. Sir Victor was not as lucky.
I'm sorry for your loss.
And I yours.
Ours.
I
I will
fear.
leave you to your rights. I don't wish to disturb. Just wish to say my farewells. And he's gonna turn to leave.
Sure. Before you go.
Yes.
I do your friend's effects. Well, would you take them? Would you like to take them? Sorry.
Yes, I shall. He was working on some quite important things. It would be a waste to see it buried with him. So, yes, I'll take it.
Sure. Hey, you can grab James's stuff.
Just looted, my friend. There we go.
Well, at least the key quest items. It's probably wise taking them off of the corpse.
How much gold? No, I don't care.
Oh, you'd have to ask James. Sorry.
We don't have our bank anymore in
No.
the sky ship. You
Exactly.
might actually
You
want to
might
care.
Let me see.
Yeah, is there
No,
any
don't
actually
see, it's fine.
that's a question. James, is there anything that Valymr would find on your body that would be particularly or put aside from your body, that would be particularly of note that might catch his eye? Valymr, make an investigation check.
Can I use the investigation score of this blood matron?
I mean, it's not.
Because I got a nat 1.
So, do you want to roll a point of luck already or not?
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go. Point of luck. Fuck me!
So, for everybody at home, Valymr, what was it?
Welcome back, Valymr.
That was a second natural 1. Yeah, we're starting this campaign off predictably. Let's call it predictably.
Yeah, that is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to season 4 of the component cast's Elendor Chronicles.
Where everything old is new again.
All right. Well, we can make this fun. As you go to grab the effects from the blood matron, you trip and you punch a hole in his stomach, and you actually
No, please.
and you actually find the codex that you need to decode his notes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Should he get that?
No,
Should he
I'll
get
allow
2
it.
natural ones?
I'll fucking allow it. I'll allow that because you guys were gonna struggle if you didn't. But yes, so in the mild amount of horror, Valymr, as you recoil at punching into the lifeless corpse of your friend, in your hand you find like a Rolodex codex.
I took a level of paladin, not fucking barbarian.
My mental image is that you fucked up so badly as you went to, I'm gonna go search gently, and you just like punch it to the immediately.
He did a lot of operations on himself, so there was some old spots that were no longer being held together by him being alive very well.
Wait, there's a pocket right here. I haven't checked this pocket. Wait a minute.
See,
Why is
right
this
banana,
pocket
he's
all
got
wet?
some soft spots so that he can.
I don't think how much you guys realize how much of a Frankenstein's monster James actually was under the coat.
Darius
You know what? I'm
called
glad
it.
for that, Mitch. I'm glad that
Yeah.
I'm not in that room right now, and I never need to know that.
Darius knew
will
exactly
not
what
be
James was.
repeating any of this. None of you will ever know where my hand has been.
Can K roll a stealth check?
Sure.
You know, I don't know why you need to, Roach. It's not like Valmyr's going to see you.
Yeah, my passive perception is like 4.
30.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
She can also be actually invisible now if she wants to. Yeah, she's just watching, horrified. She just saw, from her perspective, she just saw Valymr rip open the stomach of his friend.
God, I really wish we had like a crit roll stats of this campaign. Now we're 4 seasons in. I want to know just how many natural ones and like
Valymr specifically.
Valymr
Yes,
specifically.
my bell curve is very skewed.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of natural 20s as well. In combat, you hit crits so often. So you just struggle with the middle ground.
You know,
Yep.
I mean,
Anyway, so I
Yeah.
would say you find this codex, you find his research notes, and you find James's rifle broken in half from the fall, like the stock. It's still usable, but it will need some repair.
Oh,
not
you
usable
just need to
by
get
me,
Zep.
for damn sure.
Yeah. All we need is just gotta get Zep in here. That's an easy like 5 on the die, and he'll get it. Right?
Yeah, about me.
Our entire,
Just-
our
just
entire
in the,
flow of a
in
group.
the animated version of this, like that, you go just needs to get Zep here. It's gonna cut to Zep on a plank in the middle of the ocean.
They're just thinking like how fucked we are because our entire flow as a group has just been around. Well, we need this. Zep's gonna be able to make it because he can't fail. Now we're just like, we're so fucked.
Let's see if this party remembers how to be a D&D party. Travel checks, travel checks, travel checks.
No,
you got
I
teleported.
got a broken rifle,
Yeah.
codex, and some
Research notes.
Research notes.
Yeah.
The
They were the main
PSP
things you
too.
find.
So, out of curiosity, like, Devil's Sight.
Yeah.
Would that have been able to translate into, legibility, the codified notes, or no?
It depends on the cipher because it's literal translation. So, for example, if it was written in Draconic, you would get the exact letters that it would be in Draconic. It wouldn't undo the code.
Right, okay.
So you'd get like brown eggs on grass hot.
Or even worse, you just get random alphanumerics that just wouldn't.
I'm gonna.
It just
If
some reason it's pages and pages of grandma's gnomes are loose.
I'm gonna
It's-
wash my hands before I go back to the group.
Sure, you can do so. You can do so.
It's
You can do so.
alchemical recipes written in a mixture of halfling and infernal. So imagine halfling blended with infernal, and it's written
I
down.
don't want
in
to.
So
alchemical
it's
recipes.
infernal in lowercase.
Haha.
God damn you! Fucking,
That's so clever. That was so
I-
clever.
That's
And for anyone who could read infernal in chat.
Ooh, that was good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you all group. Yeah, like so. Valymr, you can return to the rest of the group.
So, I have James's research notes. At some point, maybe these can be pursued, I guess. But, yeah, what he was doing was important. It'd be a great shame to see it buried and lost. I just don't know who we would be able to pass it to have this be pursued, because I'm not smart enough for this.
I'm sure someone will come along. You have a
Good.
faith now, don't you, Valymr?
I do. Yeah, no. We went and we killed my dad. So he's gone out of the picture, and now we're all Team Aureus. Well, by all I mean I am, and there was a lot of Bahamut support, but I guess now it's just a little bit more.
The Platinum Dragon.
Yeah. But I'm doing well. I'm doing all right. This is still a bit new to me. I'm not exactly used to it just yet, but it's better than my dad. So
From somewhere, Ruby's going to start passing out breakfast burritos to everybody, including Gourd.
Those emergency breakfast burritos that you just had.
Just in case.
They
unwrap and reheat.
Yeah, just unwrap, reheat from the bag of
Well,
cold.
her hand heats them, so it's
Yeah, oh, yeah. just-
I'm not. I feel like I would be metagaming to accept this, because Valymr has 0 appetite. His hand was in someone's stomach. I am good. I don't plan on eating for at least 83 hours.
Yeah, but it was more like paper mache.
Yeah, at this point.
That does not make it any better. That does not make it even remotely better.
If anything, that makes it worse.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes it. Skin shouldn't act like that. Just shouldn't.
Skin shouldn't act like that.
Good, you look good. For a tree.
Not so bad yourself, Ruby.
Oh, I know.
I see your cooking is still delicious as always.
Obviously.
Everything he says just puts me on edge. Like, just...
Awfully bold of you to fight me, considering how you're made out of kindling.
Just him asking Valymr if he's out of religion now. It's like such a I'm just like just looking up to you.
No,
So you
Gourd
met
follows
God
our
yet?
father.
Like,
Gourd follows the platinum dragon.
That's just such.
He believes in yes, he believes in the gods. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So, now that we've all finally gathered back again, what's next?
That's the question, isn't it? We have our proof. We've shown them what threat is there, and from what we've heard, they're looking to agree to a ceasefire, to pull back, to agree that this is the threat that we need to focus on. This is a winning hand for everyone, but how do we capitalize on that? Where do we go?
The good news is that I think we slew that dragon before we escaped.
Oh, thank the gods.
It also, inside of its gullet, had one of the seals. The
Gods,
anti-life.
damn it.
The reverse of Joanna, the anti-life crystal.
That explains why it was so weird.
Now, I don't know if it was destroyed or if it sunk to the bottom of the ocean. But either way, I would think that our next step would be to make sure that gets into the correct hands before somebody else with more nefarious intentions collects it. However,
Whose hands are the correct hands?
I don't want to have that fight right now.
Anyone who can break it again, to ensure that it maintains as a seal of Elendor.
Takes more than just breaking it. Don't we need the blood of the king that never was to return it to its sealdom?
I was going to bring that up next. I think I might be able to find a way to contact him. Whether or not he answers is a different story.
Contact the king who never was.
He is a god, yes.
If there's any authority that is needed for this, it's his.
Considering how he's the prime deity of the majority of this continent, I'm sure people have tried before.
How?
I think the issue, Valymr, is less about his ability to respond, and more of the answer is usually just no.
How would you contact him?
When I died, I was brought to a place of in-between, and I saw briefly what lies beyond before I returned. With that picture in mind, and with the right spell work, I think I can get there.
Sounds like you'll need an anchor.
And magic beyond what I am capable of casting. I was working my way towards it. But there are spells that will allow us to traverse the plains. But I think Soul is my anchor. She came from there. She came from Brayla.
I'd always assumed it was just you, but like split up.
No. No, Soul is similar to me in many ways and very different in others. She is a part of me that is trying to heal my soul since I was hurt. The task is ongoing still. But regardless, I think I can use her as the anchor to get to the realm beyond.
So you have a point in mind.
I
How
do.
well can you translate that to me?
At that point, I'm dealing in theoreticals. And he's also going to want... I don't know how much attention he pays to the world, but if these seals are being manipulated, he has to be aware of it to some degree. They are made from his essence. Perhaps there is something that keeps him from actively involving himself in the affairs, and the decisions were always led to be ours, just like he told us when the book I translated. It was always meant to be our choice. But he needs to... we need an answer. Especially when it comes to the seals that we can't manipulate directly, like the Shroud.
If you are confident that you know of this place, I might be able to walk us there. I just linked plane shift.
Yeah, I know. It's... Soul is the anchor, though. That's the thing. I don't know if you could use her as the tuning fork for it. It's a DM question, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a seal also. A functioning, correct seal.
The
If it
seals are
is of
made-
his essence.
I think it's he's the... Maybe. The seals are Elendor artifacts. Pieces of gods from before. You notice most of them have connections to the deities. And his domain over them. But that's a later problem. First problem, we need to go collect the anti-life crystal, or at least verify its destruction. And for that, we need to find Zep and a ship.
I don't think the ship's...
The ship is gone.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. I saw it breaking apart when I was leaving, so I don't think anything got better.
Well,
I spoke some with Zep as well. He's awaiting rescue from another sky ship. I feel if the Skyfire was capable of flight, even remotely close to capable of flight, he'd have made it happen by now.
so would we turn to Lagran's land? Speak with the Iron Duke and Joanna. Make sure she got home okay. And verify with him our next steps.
It's going to be a bit of a journey.
Zep did want us to check in with Joanna and Braun.
She'll look to Breton. I can get us there. I have the circle sequence. In fact, I can get us just about anywhere between here and Solarum.
That's gonna come in handy now that we don't have an airship.
Major cities. I can also get us the Eladrin Empire if we need to in a pinch, though I hope we don't do that. I'll probably get shot on sight.
I feel like at this point, we've definitely acquainted ourselves enough and proved ourselves enough of a non-hostile that would probably be okay. We fought with the Emperor, after all. It's not out of the realm of possibility that we're kind of chill now.
Is
I think
Eladrin the
the-
Immortal also still waiting for us to get to him and his people home?
I think he was going to find his own way home lest I spoke to him, but I'm just going to wait for the things to settle. But we can go talk to him, certainly.
I would like to.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get all the powers that be together and see if there's any decision they think we should make. If they,
They haven't-
as a collective, we can come to a decision about what we should be doing next, then it would go a long way in keeping their support.
Okay. Well, with that decision made, we're going to go ahead and take our midpoint break because we're actually at time for that. So join us in 10 minutes time where we will be back with more of this broadcast. And I believe one of the trailers in this trailer is out of date because obviously I hadn't revealed the new one for this yet. So it is what it is, but see you in a moment. Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex. I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere, and if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch, and just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighbouring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Dre Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope from the brain that's rattled and riddled with madness. A radiant pustule. Writing. Art. That's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings.
Support us. Support the component cast.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Yeah, no, 3, 2, 1, go indeed. We're back with the second half of our broadcast tonight. So, what? Hang on, is that like a kimono robe chain? I love that. That's so nice.
Oh, that's
really
very
nice.
That's cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
it's 100% cotton, so
Oh,
it's nothing
oh.
special. So
But still, like, it's a
Yeah.
the pattern's nice. Pattern's nice.
yeah,
Anyway.
it's the Great Wave pattern. Anyways, yeah, carry on.
Anyway, so sorry, we went old fashioned on that. We left off with you discussing that you wanted to gather those who are still around, in order to maybe ask them for advice on what to do, where to go. So, you want to try and grab the Reynard Emperor and the Elendor Emperor? Is that who you're looking for?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I will hand wave it that the Reynard Emperor didn't leave as soon as he got to Spinnerara like he was going to. So you can ask him for advice. But you can assemble the most important of those who remain, and ask them what they think. What's the question that you like? What questions do you want? Oh, hang on, 2 seconds. What's the questions you want to ask?
What's his name?
This is George.
Is the Emperor holding a cat too?
No, this is Gourd.
What? I guess so. Ruby will bow to both of them. Emperor, Mr. the Immortal. Don't believe the pleasure of meeting yet. What's next for you two?
Well, I've got to go back, let people know I'm alive, and see what I can't do to rally everybody to a new cause, one that they won't have heard of, and somehow say that it's more threatening and deadly than this bugger over here.
That was the Emperor speaking, or
That was the Reynard Emperor, and the bugger over here, he like kind of jovially nodded towards Eladrin the Immortal.
I knew they were going to be friends. I
Feel it. You can feel it.
yeah,
So
already razzing. Okay.
A mutual respect there.
There's
I
a
think.
huge mutual respect there. More so in the side of Godric. Because obviously Eladrin the Immortal, even though he is, or should essentially be dead, is still alive, kicking, and also fighting. And
kicking ass.
yeah, exactly. And like the Rhiannians are a very martial people. It's very a martial lifestyle is very much built into their culture. So game respects game, essentially.
If you want to
chill
direct them
nod.
towards something, the portion of the features that we're working on in the lore they're referred to as the Agents of Them. Impromptu name, I understand, but all the different walks of life, in this particular, these crystal dragons and the agents that have been working with them, any information you can direct towards finding these, for lack of a better word, terrorists. We need everything we're going to get if we're going to help stop them.
So Ruby will nod in agreement. Our goal is to knock them down before they can cause any bigger problems. But something we discovered a while ago is it's like trying to grab sand. We don't know where they're based out of. They could be anybody. They're very nebulous.
Eladrin the Immortal speaks up. It is well known, and to many, that we have not suffered at the hands of these initiators as much as the others. That much is true. However, we've had somewhat alarming reports from our colonial ventures to the north. We attempted to expand the horizons of the Empire in nooks that people didn't look to the north. We have an island colony there, and that is the one location where we have seen attacks. Not infiltration attacks, just direct destruction. Seems.
Do you mean north of the Eladrin directly, or the the horseshoe-shaped island north of the Rian?
So the horseshoe-shaped island to the north of the Rian, you see it. There's a island to the left of it, like almost the size of bulb.
Sure.
To the west of it, the Eladrin had started laying claim to that.
3 of them on my.
Yeah.
Did.
We have a small, a small outpost there that received some scrutiny, as well as reports of dragons flying overhead, bypassing the island towards the, like you've pointed out before, the horseshoe-shaped island.
We did have one of the abilities that James had was to track these dragons that we had encountered in the Vistilian Theocracy, and when we came north, he had pointed out that they were north again still.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that, I mean, if I was to guess, I would say this might be where they're basing out of.
It is an island we refer to as Neleth Kar.
Would I translate that? I would know.
Land of the Dead.
Elvish.
Isle of the Dead.
It means the. It means the souls of old. It was a location in which we've beaten back cultists before that tried to set up a nation state there. Way back in the before the green and pleasant day, as your faith puts it. He then kind of returns that jesting jab towards Godric.
Mr. the Immortal, I translated the...
Please. Please. At this point, use my name.
Please.
Don't feel
Mr. the
comfortable
Immortal
doing
was
that?
my creator.
Hey, Eladrin the Immortal is Iolas.
When he in the book, is it Immortal, comma IT? Iolus the Immortal. Sorry, for phone book reference, you Gen Zs. I translated the edition, the first edition, and fell upon the prophecy that spoke of the end times.
I'm aware.
What we just witnessed, I think, was another one of the seals. Another one of the shadows falling. Or the shadows rising and the lights falling. I think Breton put it together faster than I did. That the connection lies between the 8 lights vanishing are becoming less powerful and the shadows rising.
It's not just at least what I believed, it isn't just the seals, it's the gods' representation of them on the plane as well.
Yes.
The more the seals fall, the less the gods have influence, and the farther we move ahead, the more we have to do this without them.
And when Godric activated the crown, another one of the seals was broken. I was directly referenced in it as a witness to it, which just makes it more and more apparent that we are approaching the apocalypse.
We are approaching an apocalypse. Aladrin the Immortal creaks up.
Just like, look, I wasn't there before.
Quite.
For 99% of the
You call
creatures
this
on
an
plane,
apocalypse?
it will be
My apocalypse back in my day was uphill both ways.
In the snow.
backwards.
The last time something like this occurred, me and my people were left with an affliction. Many do not hold the memory of how it served and how it arrived. But I too bear those scars. When the timelines converge, it is what some people would call an apocalypse. It is stoppable. We can stop this. It is possible.
Then I will ask the most direct question I can. Why hasn't the Never King done anything? You knew him best out of anybody on this earth.
This what?
It's the word for the ground.
The
Firmament.
dirt. The dirt beneath our feet. He smiles. Knew them, yes. Remember them? Vaguer. There is a side effect to all of these happenings. Miss Sunderstar, you are a curious soul.
That's my other half. Sorry.
In the short time I've known you, and known of you, you always ask why. I believe that to be more than just a blind curiosity. I think cynicism, for what it's worth, is just a fleeting memory of what was and could have been. I know some more than you. I also know less. I know that at one point, the king and I were to be friends. I know at one point we were enemies. For the life of me, the many lives and moons that I have seen, someone that I was so close to for so long, I cannot draw memory of their face. I have memories. I know of my actions. And I think we all know of theirs. I don't think that they are inactive at all. I would hazard a guess that the strings, that fate, that allow for our questions and our own searches to even end up in this unlikely scenario. For the book in the translation that you found, for it to directly mention you at a moment that would prove in a song that is and will be remembered as nothing more than fate, I feel that's a show of their power. How else would you explain it? Blind luck? Of course, there's a little bit of that. I think there is with every hero. If we are to be those this time.
Breton clears his throat.
Some more than others, looking at Valymr.
I have the opposite.
I'm not so naive as to think that there aren't hands being played by those beyond us. I can't say for certain why I have these powers, why I was born into this life, why I have the capacity to resist the coming calamities as much as I have, as much as my friends are, only to say that I love this world and I love everything on it. I want to keep it the way it is because it is a beautiful and wonderful place filled with life and love. And the why I want to keep it that way is not an accusation of dereliction of duty, but if something else can be done, say I use a sign other than a book saying you'd be here, you are here. Again, I feel like I'm throwing punches into the wind, trying to hope I hit the right person. Mm-hmm. I'm not smart. I'm not a leader. I could throw a fireball and cook a good burrito. By the way, she'll hand one to him. Burrito.
I
Pocket burrito.
I don't require.
You'll really like them. Yeah, it doesn't mean you
okay.
Love life.
My
you
life
don't require
is
things. Just...
Anyways, Godric pipes
in. If you would like one too.
So,
talking to a Vulcan.
I'll definitely have. If you're not going to eat yours, he just takes the kingdom. It takes the
love me kingdom, love me God.
I'm glad that this character is just slowly becoming more and more King Robert. As time goes on.
Yeah, he's just massively.
He's 100% a Yorkshireman. I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's the whole. For him and his family, just Yorkshire.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I know this person.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, this is. Godric in my head is Sean Bean when he's 70. That's what I'm getting.
I'm not Ianian. I'm not a Thelian by birth, although my allegiance to it is extraordinarily slim.
Godric pipes up. Whilst you're not Reynard, we share aspects of the faith. You say you've translated the Book of Ascension and the final chapters.
Painstakingly.
Mm-hmm. Then you know what happens if the king does return and gets directly involved. I have a feeling that if we are to... I believe they must be towing as much of a line as we are. Because if they act too much, they might just undo everything that they're sworn to protect and what they've put in place for us. Go against their own word, perhaps.
The only people who can reforge the seals are those with his blood. And I don't know anybody who has that. Or even if there are any.
Could there be a proxy?
If there's the rumor I read in the book also spoke of a place where he left, his point of departure, as a way to get to him.
I mean, I don't know about getting to him, but the place where he left, we built a sopping great cathedral on it.
No. It was somewhere in Solarum. That's why the Vistalian theocracy was there, weren't they?
That's the place of his birth.
Place of his birth. Okay.
That's why. That's the rumored place of their birth. Their birth as well, I should say, not to gender them.
If anybody can put the seals back together and strengthen the barriers around our world to keep out these followers of them's greatest minions, it would be him. So our plan, if we were to have one, is to find a way to reforge the seals that were broken. Or break the seals that were forged. What?
Yeah, or make seals anew.
Sure. Yes.
The Eladrin the Immortal then pipes in. Well, in what I do remember, they were once a hero who fought many battles. If there was to be blood left on this plane, a site of one of those battles would be a good place to start. It could...
Battle thousands of years ago would still contain his essence?
If seals, which have been holding back the plane, have contained their blood and held firm all these thousands of years, could be.
Could be. My only issue with this plan is I feel like this is kicking the can down the road. Somebody else will eventually figure it out and try to break the seals again. Perhaps it's the hero in me who wants to solve the problem here and now, or the impatience, I should say, more than the hero. Has this happened before in your lifetime? Has somebody tried to break the seals in this manner before?
From what little I can recall, not as successfully.
So this is new.
There, in my knowledge, was only there was well, the last time it happened was ended in a little girl being locked away. It was completely accidental. In terms of people on purpose breaking a seal, attempts have been made, none successful.
So there must be something new introduced to this equation. And I think it's these dragons. Your people are more successful in finding these infiltrators. How?
We have a habit with the denizens of our society that they've always been good at changing shape. So we often ward against people being able to do so. Otherwise, you know, you get fairy infestations in your easternmost castle, you know. But
would you be willing to share that capacity with the other nations? Help root out these infiltrators before they're able to strike at major cities again. We don't want a repeat of...
It will take time, and they will have to be... He looks towards the Rhiannon. They will have to be amenable to people of my kind walking their streets for a while.
You will just look at Godric.
I I will try my best to work something out. Kettle.
Yeah.
During this conversation, the bag that you were given.
Right. Probably should have looked at that.
You feel like it's pulling away from you.
Can I open the bag from like, so the opening of the bag is opposite of the where it's pulling, so it's pulling to the bottom of the bag, so I can look
Okay,
so,
yeah. Right.
So that way
I
it
was
doesn't
gonna
like
say,
I
do you
open
wanna
it and
go
it's
pull out or pull it. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to.
It's
like if it's
It's not like you see. Okay, in the bag you see a number of like platinum trade bars.
Oh.
You also see some health potions.
It's a shame those bars got lost somewhere.
But at the bottom of the bag, you see Zep's Amulet of Bahamut. That was attuned to seals of Elendor.
Right. Right. That's, yeah. God, we depended on Zep for basically anything. There. Yeah, she takes the symbol out, like and points it out. Would this be important? This.
Yes, it would.
Sorry,
Valymr
the
is
platinum
going to-
dragon. I needed to just correct myself.
Valymr
Hey, I'm
is
going off
going
of what
to
you said.
reach
so-
for it. Did Zep give you this?
Yeah.
What
Along
did he
with
say to
some
do with it.
nothing, honestly. There was like the ship was blowing up, so it was kind of a take this, leave, and I kind of got shoved into a portal, and then obviously chased by bloodthirsty eagle when I got back on the other side. But there was this and a couple of healing potions. And how many platinum bars were in the bag?
With your eidetic memory,
Yeah.
your key mine 25 trade bars.
And about 15 trade bars.
No shit.
Are you sure you counted that correctly?
I don't miscount things. You want to try? She can.
I have a passive insight of 20.
I have a passive percent. Well, I can roll a deception if that's
Roll
what
a
you want.
I
deception.
exist.
Roll
Yeah.
deception.
23.
Nothing pings you, Gourd. For
I can add a D10 on there if you really want it. Want to
Can
fight
I
me?
take the amulet of the platinum dragon?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm going to put it around my neck and tuck it in before, like, trying to hide if I'm feeling a pull as soon as I
Oh yeah,
touch it.
absolutely. The thing is,
I'm
it's not
going to
a
try and
strong
hide
pull.
that.
It's not a strong pull. It's just like one of those things of, you know, the feeling of when this is going to be one of, if you feel your phone move in your pocket. It's kind of as subtle as that.
Oh, so the necklace is on silent.
But it's more the fact of like it's like you feel something moving in a space, like, but it's not like it's like gonna yank you towards.
It's like a phantom movement. It's
Yeah.
like when you feel like you're moving on like a bed or something in pitch black.
Yeah, or it's like when you get off of a treadmill. There's like your legs feel like they're still moving. It's kind of like that, but inside your pocket.
So I'm definitely feeling it now in the presence of
As soon as you
both
took it,
Eladrin. Does it show for seals that have been reforged and are therefore sealless? Where is this pull going towards?
Eladrin the Immortal.
Okay.
But not Godric.
Okay.
I've got a feeling. Actually, I need to double check. I need to double check if it pulls on both, basically. But put it this way: you're in a room that has at least one confirmed and one possible seal in it. Or once was a seal.
I've been kicking this idea around for a bit, and this may just be pure throwing things at the wall and see what sticks. Elendor as a plane is a little chaotic in the way it connects to things. That's part of why we have these issues of these eras where things are so much more volatile. Is that this is when the plane is so much more connected to everything. And when the Green and Pleasant Day was going about, it was a day that was, we call it a day, but it was really an era on its own. It was time and time beyond. When Elendor was going through these phases of being more connected to things, is it just space that it finds itself being more interconnected with, or is it time as well? I ask because obviously it mentions that these predictions of how the seals will eventually break and fail are not linear, as if they could happen across multiple eras, even if they aren't happening in order.
Mordred Viking coming in clutch. He's just messaged me the answer of the. Sorry to cut in. So it magnetically repulses against ones that are reforged. So it pushes away from Godric, but pulls towards Eladrin the Immortal. Fucking love you, buddy. Thank you.
Legend.
Even when he's not here. Just trying to get my head around that. Is that true? Is Elendor, when it's at its most point here, is time as much as space something that is more of a nebulous concept?
I spent many lifetimes courting my now wife. More lifetimes than generations you've had kings. Time is always perceived differently to those who feel a stronger connection to its flow, but yes, I would argue that time itself does pulsate and fracture.
Would it be possible to, or would it be correct, I guess, and this is a theory I'll posit to you all, that the seals during this period are not weaker, they're just more malleable, and that would go in both directions.
Well, like
These
a
seals
waxing
were
and waning moon.
created during the period of the Green and Pleasant Day. If this volatile picture, would it be possible that that power that was used to create them or break them or whatever terminology you want to use during the Green and Pleasant Day, would it be possible to connect to the time where these seals were originally created and use that to strengthen them again?
Even like Eladrin the Immortal just goes, that was some thinking. Is like,
Have you?
Valymr has an intelligence of 11. That's at least a 17.
in all my experiences of time and days and years, not once have I ever gone backwards. But if these convergences are as weak as they seem sometimes, it's perhaps
It'd be a way of fixing things without having to ask the king that never was to get directly involved.
Go back
At
and
least
see
not
him.
now. A while did, yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around the chaos of the situation, and typically chaos just, it doesn't play by the rules, so why should we?
I would not know where we would start with that, but
I think I do. the Sky Island that we encountered, and the funky fella on there, I'm pulling at the very frayed reaches of my memory here. He had this very loose understanding of time, and not loose as in he didn't understand it, but as in time itself was loose for him. He asked when he was rather than where he was. It felt like he could go backwards, forwards, sideways.
But Nami, you remember what happened shortly afterwards?
I do. But if there could be a way of contacting one of these time flyers,
wardens,
time wardens, the fate of the entire world is at stake. The fate of the plane or planes are at stake.
I think their purpose is less about the safety of the plane and more about the continuity of the flow of time.
I'm not sure how much continuity there will be if everything is gone.
For lack of a better term, Valymr, if that's its fate, I think is probably what they would say. We can always try, but last time we interacted with them, I believe the phrase was put, shit got real.
Well,
it has always been defined that beings not of this plane struggle to get in without the help of people from it. It would be a prudent place to look for answers, possibly from the outside looking in.
Stop it.
No.
No.
I refuse. I'm going to DM this game, whether you like it or not.
This is my crazy idea. We're gonna follow along.
I did not mean for that to be off mute. I apologize.
Somebody needs to get a squirt bottle from Minch. Just yeah.
Spray with a hose.
Bird is back.
Anything like, I mean, if we could just make a breach, if we could even just briefly visit that period of time. You mentioned battlefields. It'd be a lot easier to get blood in the present than the past.
The battlefields still exist on this plane as well.
Where?
And also, when we were with Darius, his dreams were some kind of time weird thing. Could we follow that thread potentially? He was kind of going back in time and getting stabbed in the dreams and being literally stabbed. But he was going to a place in the past in these dreams.
Your friend was a dream walker.
If that's what it's called, then I guess yes.
Or a warg or whatever.
They are often images and answers. Similar to... They have a deeper... People with those powers have a deeper connection to the strands that keep our path set. Imagine a stonemason walking a hall. They know of the material, whereas the cook, who is just taking the meal to the dining hall, thinks not of it. It's a good way to look at how they interact with the world around.
That
So what if there was
stonemason might know of imperfections in the stonework through which we could slip.
What if we knew of an elemental being that was here before all of these things happened? Who knows the firmament?
He deeply furrows. She, like the others, are trapped for a reason. I doubt they will help in this regard.
I hear her, you know. Sorry.
I need to roll. Give me a moment.
The ceasefire's off! This person's a witch!
Oh no!
Okay.
I feel like the Rien is way more likely to burn the witch than the Eladrin Empire. Just gonna.
Eladrin the Immortal's eyes start like darting left or right.
I'll take it
Actually,
back.
this is what they bond over: burning the witch.
Like someone
I don't know.
like,
It's
sort
like a
of,
fire. I mean, at least drowning would be a little bit better.
he's heavily thinking about something completely different now. His like train of thought is going. The hero helped put them there. If it could also be another location in which they shed blood. However, that entity will speak only of destruction.
Her father, maybe. I don't think Caloris is like that. My powers are not just destruction. There's also life in them. Especially tempered, as they have been, through Brayla's help.
Think what you want. Experience is another thing.
Forgive me if I say that, but your memories have already been faulted by your own admission.
He moves up a sleeve of his arm, and you just see burns. Like scars.
She does the same thing! Like, brother, I'm on the same field as you.
Yeah, he's just saying. Well,
These are all things we can also look into while we're dealing with the immediate problem of stopping the actual dragons.
yes. Well, I think the dragon invasion front should be morefold what we look into. I don't think two emperors prancing around the world looking for blood is going to be any use. Or leaving this plane of existence, if I'm following what you are all putting down. There is one final thing we could possibly do to harp back to an original discussion.
All ideas are welcome.
Well, ever since he taps the crown.
Broke seal?
Hastened along the apocalypse.
Forged a connection. I mean it. If you were trying to go see them, I might be able to help.
Can you speak to him through this connection you've made?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I can make a sacrifice.
Look, the last
And
time we were
can
talking
go.
what are we talking about with sacrifice? Because so I got some bad blood, quite literally, with that.
Well, put it this way, there's one way to get to the Hall of the Dead, or the Home of the Dead, or the Sorting House of the Dead. Yeah,
That would just be ruining another seal.
well, no, this one's ruined, but,
I've been there. You don't retain your memories.
well, if you're dead, you don't. The sacrifice would only need to be one. I have a feeling if I play my cards right, I could get everybody there, and only I would have to stay behind.
You're still acting in the purview of prediction. Your falling is one of the very things that is written into the end of the world. Is it a thing that we are willing to risk just for a chance?
No. Your people still need you. Elendor still needs you. This peace will not be possible if you sacrifice yourself on a what if.
My people have my son. Wouldn't be without a ruler.
Your son, we've met him. Good man. I don't think he has a full grasp of what's going on, does he?
My son had the benefit of being raised by his grandfather, who was quite the peacemaker. He looks to Eladrin the Immortal. You might remember him. He has a very good head on his shoulders. And I believe he was one of the first to believe you. So, grasp of the situation. Him and his brother, I think, have had a closer one than me.
I think the fact that you're putting this idea forward and seriously considering it is proof that you should remain where you are.
I've learnt in a very long... He looks at the Legend of the Immortal again. Okay, I've learnt in a life that sometimes hard decisions have to be made. It's just one way that we
put that on the shelf.
Put it on the shelf, put it on the table. But put it this way, this plane's existence is worth my life. Simple as. I think it's worth everybody's in here, if it comes to that. I mean, I'd happily sacrifice all of us to stop the apocalypse.
As would I. If I knew it would stop it. But I'm not willing to gamble the fate of the universe on a what if.
I mean, at the end of the day, if the apocalypse does happen and I've already copped it, I get to come back as part of the King That Never Was' reign over this plane and take part in the apocalypse at the very least. He kind of belly laughs at it. Please don't let that happen if we do go down this route.
I think we have a way to get there. A spell that I don't have access to, that's even stronger than what Gourd has, would make that exceptionally easy.
In theory.
In theory. but I have an idea of where I'm going to go, which is unusual for most.
As far as I'm aware, in previous attempts that have been made to get out of this plane, they tend to skip over where the Divine Gate sits. If I know how plane shift works, you need an item of attunement to said plane.
You do. But I wasn't talking about plane shift. Gate.
Okay.
The only people who could stop it from happening are gods. If the spell fails because a god says you can't enter, then I'll have the answer we needed. If he lets us in, then there's a questions we can ask. Win-win either way, unless I fail the spell. Like the DM is reading the spell right now.
Yeah, I'm just prepping myself for what you guys need for this spell.
The answer is a lot of experience or a really, really, really expensive spell scroll.
And a diamond worth at least 5,000. Oh, yeah, 5,000 gold at least.
Not if you have a spell scroll.
No.
Would such a scroll even exist?
That's a question.
Presumably somebody somewhere has one.
Get a commission at Zorps.
So,
For
as
ninth
a
level
general
spells.
thing, 9th level spells don't tend to exist in terms of common knowledge or skill set. I don't think you've seen anyone use a 9th level spell except for Aureus.
Closest
And
I
he's a
think we've seen.
goddamn god.
Well, the closest we've seen was
You've seen 8th.
Gravity Well.
Yeah, you've seen 8th, but I don't think anyone's seen 9th. And basically, yeah, the king, Godric is just like, I don't know what that is, but it's worth a try, I guess.
We would need to find a being powerful enough who knows how to cast such a spell. All that comes to mind is Aureus. Either way, plane shift might work. And that's where soul comes in handy. Soul's form, her essence is from Brayla. But I made the choice in this place. Her egg was in this place. I think it might function as a suitable replacement.
Perhaps. But that also depends on so much that we don't know. I mean, you're welcome to try, but what do I know? I'm just an emperor.
She gives him a deadpan. I'd rather do that than you commit suicide.
Okay, then. So, me and old Mr. Immortal over here will see about trying to get the remnants of the world together to try and hold back an apocalypse as long as we can for you to stop it from happening. And then maybe when it's all over, we can go back to slapping each other.
I was hoping we're beyond that when this is all said and done.
I'm up
At least for a while.
I'm up for peace in my lifetime. I think we'll have seen enough war by the end of it.
Hopefully.
I suppose you could also make us a list of those battlefields.
Iolus kind of looks up. Well, the islands to the center of the ocean, to the south. That is what is left of where the first Great Summit happened, which coincidentally took place at the site of Null's banishment.
The one south of Nardathel?
Correct. The Shattered Shields.
I'm gonna miss our ship.
But we have had I had many battles with them, from what I recall. We had a lot of cleaning up to do in the first Green and Pleasant Day.
Do you have any... What? You said you had battles with the hero.
From...
Did you draw their
No,
blood?
no, we were on the same side.
You said earlier that you were friends and enemies at various times.
Enemies, yes. In the fact that what they became and what they did was the biggest betrayal I've ever felt.
On that, I'm not excusing that. I think I know what he did, though. What they did.
And what is done in their name. But
What about Caloris's prison?
The last time you tried to talk to Caloris, you almost died.
The hero, I was there briefly, but I had to flee due to my wounds, as well as several of our adventuring party. I believe Caloris was finally locked back by the hero when Gilliam to Fionia.
Where?
Deep below. Somewhere below the Nardathel, most likely. Nardathel. She was a lovely woman. Very good cook.
Blank, blank, blank. Don't put that bug in my ear. Apparently I'm related to the King of Lagran's land as well. So, yeah, and Duke, so...
Duke.
It might be a place to look for the... I don't intend to release her. I would like some answers, but if that is a place where we can find a battlefield and get some answers, win-win?
That's one. There's also the Isles to the north, which we also think that the draconic incursion is mounting up an army, so probably not good to run into the jaws of the dragon.
Yeah, not without my ship.
Figuratively and...
If I know Zep, and I do,
Actually.
once he returns back to returns back to Lagran's land, he's probably going to be working on a Skyfire Mark II.
Hopefully with taller ceilings.
Higher ceilings, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it's 30% larger, has a captain's loft.
Get out of here, Normandy.
Still
I know
have
what you
proper
did.
walkways.
No, it's going to be completely gnome high. You know it.
The SR2.
The
So
crawl
they're doubling the
spaces
space.
are
They're
just the
shrinking the walking
spaces.
space.
It's going to be made out of this wonderful material where they combine ice and sawdust.
Oh my god. What? Oh, what was that called? That's
Pykrete.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
pykrete.
It deflects bullets, you know.
Anyway, that aside.
Could you say that something Defionia?
Gilliam de Fiona.
Can I get that in? I would say in English.
William with a G. Gilliam.
Gilliam
Okay.
de Fiona. It's also, his name is also in that handout that's in the handout section. Under the Chevalier. You would actually know who that is as well, Ruby. He is the cultural founding father of the Kingdom of Nardathel. It's said that the kings of the Nardathel all descend from him and his sons and his wife Nardathel. And they have a massive cultural epic as well, where he essentially, after the first green and pleasant day, or in that time, like he gets separated, much like Odysseus in the Odyssey. He gets separated from his wife for something like in the scripture it says like 90 years, and he goes essentially and does loads of good and tours the plain and does loads of questing, and until finally he returns to Nardathel, and they found their kingdom. Well, she's already founded a kingdom in his absence, but he comes back and returns.
She'll look to the others if they will be willing to go along with that plan.
You said it was deep below? Are we
Well-
talking the Underdark?
Further.
You're going into the places that where the elemental planes linger close.
Yes. We had to trap her somewhere that would be equally as powerful as her.
Why didn't you banish her like the others?
Because she was born here. She's home. You can't banish
Roscoe.
what belongs.
Like your father, Valymr.
Is she a Roscoe as well?
No, she is the spawn of two elements. That of the sky and that of fire.
God damn it.
It all comes full circle.
10,000 miles away, the Bastilian theocracy. Zedaar just looks up.
It's just here over the wind. Called it.
Her creation came even before the devils came.
She was among the first. I'd say if anybody has a right to be upset about being locked in their own house, it would be them. When you fought her,
Mm-hmm.
Ruby has like something she's trying to ask, but she's trying to find the right way to say it, so give me a moment. Was there any other choice? Was she so terrible and destructive that you were forced to lock her away? Or was she simply a piece of what was and had to be buried along with everything else?
The world in which Caloris lived was a world that was made habitable and more civilized by even devils. There is no controlling elements. Not really. Like a forest fire. Sometimes the only way to stop it is to either smother it or let it burn out. I know that if the Nardathelian route is not as easy for you, there is ways to that deep, fiery abyss below Benunum. They tackle with the fire elements often. It breaches the great forest there on occasion, and the passageways are closer to the surface.
The thing we fought at Benumdum is born of Caloris?
If not her, of her nature, of her father. Her father was an entity known as the Lord of Magma.
Delightful.
He was a ruthless slaver who kept a great magma fortress. That is rumored to be somewhere under Kaiteng, if you're interested.
I have the hardest time reconciling that the creature that I have spoken to from time to time, and my powers which I have used since I was a child, are born from such cruelty and malice and hate that they are beyond any chance of redemption, of hope, or of peace. Now perhaps that's the idealism of soul speaking within me, but if anybody can connect with this entity and bring it to a place where it is not bound by the ideals of its lineage and instead bound by the ideals of what might be, I could be the person to do that.
Is it worth the risk that you're wrong?
It wouldn't be an ideal if it wasn't, Valymr.
We don't have time for idealism.
Ah! She just cracks up laughing in his face. Sure. What are you devoted to right now? What are your ideals and your oaths?
Don't worry about that.
All right, okay. I can have mine too.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a lot of tension in here.
No.
By the gods, you have no idea.
Sorry, Godric is just like now into the third burrito because he took another one. I've got a feeling that right now, as much as I'd like you to reconcile with your blood, one flying thing that breathes fire everywhere is kind of enough for me, and there's about 10,000 of those apparently. So, if it goes wrong,
But if it goes right, we'll have a creature on our side that laughs in the face of dragonfire.
You're trying to tame something that is a creation itself. From the beginning of time.
beginning of this plane at the very least.
Aim high.
It's not even as if Caloris's nature is evil and hate and all that. That's not it's nature. It's just you don't call a wolf evil for chasing and killing a deer. It's just its nature. But Caloris's nature is fire and death and destruction and inhospitability for people.
And also hope, renewal, and rebirth, Valymr.
I don't have much hope.
From the ashes of destruction, yes.
Well, if anything could bring ashes of destruction to the dragons of the north, and then bring, maybe something better later.
I don't know if it's as
much as I hate to say this, Ruby, I feel like if Caloris were to be released in this point in time, judging by everything we know about them, they would actually side with the dragons. because the idea of destroying the world so it can be born into something new would be right along with what they are.
She looks down. She looks absolutely downtrodden at the thought of that.
Talking about fire in its innateness. It does not know mercy. It does not know kindness. It cannot differentiate between life and death. It just is. You've seen its power yourself. You harness it within your soul.
But I will say, whilst it as an entity is something I don't feel any of us can control, by the fact that you can somewhat control yourself and an essence of her power, that's something. We are not all what our makers made us to be. We're not tools. We are ourselves. And right now we are fighting for ourselves. Look at Valymr. As far as I know, he was made to be a pawn in a devil's chess game. Look at me. I was made to dance the moonlight and defend my people. But on all counts, I have failed that for a lot of my life. I'm a broken tool in that regard. Look at Godric.
Why?
He is some sort of king of his people. But in the hopes of saving them, misguidedly broke a seal, but still has the strength to say that he'd be willing to die to undo his mistake. All of these things are mortal choice, not the root of immortal power or natural essence. As natural as me and my empire are, we go against the very grain of nature by existing as an empire. Sometimes it's not what we come from, but what we shape of our futures.
I know I intimately am familiar with the desire to know that the power in our blood comes from something good, but sometimes just doesn't.
Before I died, I would have agreed with you, Valymr. But after Brayla introduced me to Soul and showed me how to heal, showed me that fire can be tempered and directed and controlled in a way that is constructive, I do not think such an act is beyond even a god. They are not perfect beings. They are not infallible. Many of them have whims, wants, and desires of their own. These whims, wants, and desires can change with time. If I can be shown a better way through love and compassion, then I think Caloris could as well. It may not happen in my lifetime. It may not happen ever. But if I even think, if there's even the chance that if I can be healed to be better, so can she. So I'm
If a
not saying
god...
she's not a god.
No, if a god can change their whims, their woes, their worries over time, then does that make them a god? Because then they would not stand for every tenet that they do. They would not embody the very things that they speak about and represent. Gods don't change in what they do and what they represent. That's what makes them a god. And that's what gives us something to follow.
But Chloris isn't a god, Gourd. Chloris
No,
is just
it's an
a primary-
element. It's chaos that you're trying to control, and you can't control fire. Show me a fire that builds houses. Show me a fire that breeds life.
You don't know my power, Gourd.
Then show me that you can heal me. And he'll cut his wrist open.
Ooh,
Heal me with
okay.
your flame. You say it can heal. Stand behind your claims.
I already transformed today. I'd be more willing to do that.
Look, I'm all for waxing philosophical. That
I'm
blade
sure.
looked a little rusty. You might want to get that cleaned.
I'm gonna give him lay on hands. To sit.
And he'll heal himself. It'll heal.
I think we're beating around the bush of points here. You have a fuck ton to work on as people. I do too, but put it this way. You have
Sure,
options.
how many burritos did you just pound down while we've been talking?
The boy is going to be.
Long day.
These are like the ones that are loaded with hash browns on the inside too. They're
Yeah,
loaded.
It's like, are you okay?
Is that cayenne pepper? I'm all for that.
Oh. Oh yeah, no, they're spicy.
Yeah.
Also spicy.
It's been a long day, Godric. It's 11 a.m.
I do not envy your privy later.
Say it. I'm the master of my own throne. Anyway,
Oh,
When the time comes, if we can get to her, I will give soul to her. And maybe in time she can learn to be more than just pain.
okay, I'm hearing a lot of possibles, and again, I want to reiterate, we've done a lot of waxing philosophic of what we want to try and do. But I'm a bit of a man of action. I don't know if anyone's got this about me, but
Battlefields.
battlefields,
an idea
planes
on
of
the
existence, gonna go talk to whoever they were, the king that never is, was, them.
Your God.
My God, but still the amorphous thing that we've all forgotten about every now and then. You know, or whilst so plan, let's go plan. Me, knife ears, we rally the world for defense.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
Anton's still
Can I do
here
like
too.
an insight
It's
check
like-
Yeah.
to see how Iolus like responds to that?
Sure.
Probably Snickers.
Fuck it, I don't care.
This is one insult in the passing of millennia for this dude. I don't think Iolus even cares. I don't think he can even blip on his
Honestly,
radar.
I'm surprised he hasn't come back with like, yeah, this fat ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Throws a rock at him, goes into orbit around his body. Yeah, take that.
We hold off an incoming swarm of giant dragonic beings that have the ability to sink islands and destroy summits. You find a
How?
way to stop. I don't fucking know, but it's our part of the plan for working out. You've
Okay.
got some battlefields and some blood to find, or some gods to talk to. I suggest we fucking make a start of it because we're probably running out of time. Just generally.
we still got about 20 minutes, actually.
If me and the Emperor here, got to get better at this. If me and the Emperor here can put down our swords and make a fucking decision, I would hope the heroes that are meant to be saving us right now and have brought us to this can do the same to themselves.
Hold off on killing yourself for now, please.
Oh, I'm not
think
doing it
that's-
without you guys, which sounds
Oh,
really
good.
fucking weird. Look, it's on the table, but again, I'd rather not. But if it comes to it,
We found an entrance into the deep places, courtesy of near Majwen. That might be the best exit or entry point for us.
Could be one. That city
We'll
is
start
awesome.
with what we know we need to do. Lagrand's land. We need to speak with the Iron Duke. We need to check on Joanna.
Deeper than the Underdark. Modron didn't go that far.
No, you
It
hit
was
the
connected.
Underdark, but you found fire elementals.
Lagrand's land, we can figure out where to next. The Iron Duke might have more information. He might not. If anything, we have one location that you've given us, Emperor. And that is this island, the Shattered Shields. It's a place to start.
I'm gonna get a boat.
Me and the Lardas will continue to work on the defense of the realm. And I will rack my brain. I will rack my brain as to any other memories I can pull. However, I now have a granddaughter to tell that she's not allowed to invade a nation that she so wants to invade anymore. That's my first challenge.
One thing, my liege, are you aware that you are a seal of Elendor?
I'm not
Can't
a
just
seal.
come out with that.
I'm
I'm
not
going
a
to
seal
pull
of
the-
Elendor.
I'm gonna pull out the amulet.
Found me. He like pushes down the amulet. I'm not a seal. I'm a guardian of a seal.
That's just what a seal would say if it.
No,
I-
unlike someone in this room, my crown is still broken.
I guess my theory then
Drops.
that the
Can I just hide in that shade over there for a second?
It's cool over here.
I guess my theory then is wrong. I had thought that the brokenness of that seals need to be was this.
Oh, and I'm such a
Black lung.
broken man that I can't.
I was talking about the
He's-
the rot
God
rot
damn.
lung thing. I forgot the name of.
What do you know of my coronation?
He's being polite, Eolus. It was my idea. I speculated he may have been a seal.
It's fine. With what you know and who you've come into contact with, it's not unusual. What do you know of my coronation?
Can I roll a history check?
Could Kay also roll a history check as she
Sure.
is booksmart?
Bloody nothing. You're an elf.
Absolutely.
They probably have lots of
Oh my
fairies and
god! I
trees
rolled
to-
the thing. 20.
15.
Right, Lambert. Open the world anvil. Go to Eladrin the Immortal.
And start reading.
Read the bit about when he gets crowned. Who puts the crown on his head?
Oh, it's what's his face, isn't it?
The king that never was.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's his face?
Well, and well, it's the king that never was, and the god,
What?
the creator god of the elves, who is yet to be renamed.
Legally not Corellin Lorethian.
Definitely not Corella Lorethian.
The Fey Father.
The creator god whose name is.
Yes, absolutely. God. Oh, that's really annoying. Our sensor beeps are slightly different sounding.
Yes,
Oh,
they
are
are.
they?
It,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
triggers
wow.
the fuck out of me.
Look. Now try yours. There
Yeah.
are a demitone apart.
I
What are you
can't
talking
hear
about,
my
Dibujor?
own.
Are you deaf? They're so different. They're very, very different.
I'll have to watch the VOD because I can't hear my own.
And
No, it's way-
You
Wait
just
for
made
it,
the
wait.
same sound.
That
Different
honestly
sound.
sounded the exact same to me. That was
They are
Okay.
demitone apart, but okay.
I don't know if
Feel
it's,
free
if,
to get
if
your
it's coming
ears
over all right.
that needs to be a
How-
clip.
how old are you
That needs to
guys?
be a clip. They're different. just managed doing the tone. That needs to be a clip. Somebody write it down.
Anyway, so if you have your list of possible seals,
keep scrolling.
Oh, we have a huge list of possible seals. We have the list of seals.
Yeah, you have
A
the best of them.
list.
Yeah, the
Can
Lifestone, Braille's
confirm
Heart,
from
Blade of
out here the
Equilibrium,
times
Dark
were
Math.
different bit. Yes, chat. Sorry, I don't ever interact with chat while live, but
I-
I've
yeah.
improved. Right.
They were very different though. Way more different than you said.
I'm trying
There's
to.
a
Oh.
50-50 shot that she is just
Is it?
doing it to
I
screw with
mean-
me.
Yeah,
And to-
Midge,
Anyway.
I have to ask, is the crown that he's wearing right now, does it have a sun on it?
No, but it's made of crystal and reflects light.
Ah, yep, okay, that checks out.
Trial of the Banishment, 3 Betrayals in the Sun. Oh, there we go. Coronation. With Beep crowning him the Emperor. Chronicled as the biography of our immortal father. True beginning of the new age.
Anyway, yes, they have the sun crown.
Wait,
The crown that King That Never Was did not accept.
Correct.
yes.
Eladrin
That's
the
why I was
Immortal
that's
kept
why I was
How
like,
did
no.
we not recognize
But
that?
Eladrin the Immortal accepted it. And what was the
Mhm.
phrase at the end of the coronation there, Lambert?
The light of the world beamed onto the surface of the moon pool. Is that one?
Yeah. There is a quote specifically from someone.
From Umas Gilinus.
No.
No?
Okay. Let me get the world anvil.
I'll give you the link so it's faster.
But that gives us a problem, guys.
What's the bow?
It's just
Yeah.
his bow.
That means the bow's not a seal, and that means we're at 9 of 10, or missing one.
Yeah, I don't see any quote on here.
Unless the Blade of Equilibrium broken in 2 counts as 2 seals. But I got my speculations against that.
Does anyone check Darius's bow?
Is that a seal?
Keep going the way we are. I think it's going to be an artifact in the next campaign, I promise you.
That would be a
Yeah,
nice thing to slip in.
2,000 years into the future, it's going to go, the Reynard Company Dragon Slayer, and it's just going to be a little dinky looking short bow, but it's going to be, bam, 5d10 damage to a dragon. Power of its legend alone.
The creator god of the elves.
So psychological.
The creator god of the elves apparently said, "Lead them like the mortals lead. Be their king, Iolus, in your immortality. Guide them and protect them."
That's in a different part. That's above the coronation.
Okay.
part.
It's right there, though.
There's a lot of text.
There's a lot of text, and some of it's out of date. But yes, so they have the sun crown.
You have no idea how much is triggering me that we're now back down to 9 of 10 on the list.
So, I'm gonna ask if you have the sun crown. We had rumors, I don't remember where we'd heard it, that either you or your bow was a seal, but with that now seemingly dispelled, we have one seal unaccounted for with no clues as to what it could be.
Well,
Unless we're counting the life and death stones as separate seals.
They already were separate
they
seals.
really are.
Right, but were they both counted as, one seal, 2 seal, that way? Or are they twinned and counted as one seal together?
No, one was the Lifestone, one was the Soul Chain. They were
Oh,
already
it was
two
the soul
separate
chain
seals.
in the dragon's mouth.
Yeah, because the Soul Chain was the antithesis to the Lifestone.
Go through the list.
Right.
I will tell you which ones you've seen and where.
Lifestone
we have-
Joanna.
Livestone Joanna.
Brayla's
Oh.
Heart was split into 3?
Correct.
3 to 4 in
Or
total,
4.
3 to 4 in total.
Blade of Equilibrium.
which was
Correct.
broken in 2.
Which is
One of
broken
which
into-
is in the capital of Rhea, and one of which is the capital of Nardathal. The
Correct.
Dark Mask, we know what that is. That was not a mask. That
you've
was the
got one.
shroud.
Shroud.
You've got
That
one.
was what was attached to Valymr when he came back from death.
Yes.
The Scales of Law was in the Vastilian Theocracy. We still don't know what happened to that, if it was stolen or if it's still in the cathedral. The Heart of Elendor, we now know what that is. That is the helm. That was broken to make
That's in the room with you, yeah.
Yeah, that's what made Godric into what he is. The Sun Crown, we now know exactly where that is. That's on
Oink.
Eladrin's head. The Platinum Chalice is being guarded by Aureus.
Mhm.
Aureus.
Yeah.
Both the Eladrin we're not sure about. The Soul Chain was in the dragon, is now
Yep.
at the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
So it's the bow that's the rumor that's the one that's wrong on your list.
Yeah.
And
Do
it's
you
been
have
marked
any
off.
idea what it could be in its stead?
The in his in their 100 days, the 100 years, post the Green and Pleasant Day, the hero went about, sealing everything off, so to speak. Did a very good job of not telling us all what they were. Kind of the point. If one failed, I wouldn't have the, oh, now you have to go here on your quest. I said the rumor about my bow. Part of my defense.
A secret that we will strive
Wait.
to keep.
The number 9 is very prominent. The 9 lights, the 9 shadows. Maybe it's the 9 seals. Maybe there isn't a 10th.
Would make sense considering what we now know about it.
Possibly. It could be just another written deflection.
Are you telling me this entire thing is info security? Ah!
Or just when we originally made the list of the seals, we were given 10 of them, so we assumed there were 10.
Round number, easy to fall for.
So really, if we have anyone to blame for this, it's past us.
Pastos were so stupid.
Through
How was
the
it
backtrack,
his?
we know-
Less
We
stupid.
still don't know what we're doing.
Well, anyway, I think me and the Emperor have some empires to untangle. Can I get another one of those burritos to go?
It's your 7th. Come on.
They're good.
You do cardio?
Temporary hit points don't stack, you fat fuck.
Do you do any cardio?
Look, Ruby, when all this is over and the apocalypse is averted, and if I'm still around and you're still around, you have a place in my court as a chef, and as well a noble title to go with it if you want, because fucking hell, this woman can cook.
Guess
Thank you.
she's the only one that's got job security now. Like, not once the world is safe, we're fucked.
Actually, what I intend to do after this is hopefully start up an orphanage for all the children that have been killed off, and or my own tavern.
One of those is a bit more noble, but now I just feel like
I may have a lot of gold in this done. Apparently, adventuring is incredibly lucrative when your ship doesn't get sunk into the bloody ocean.
well, I
Could be
mean,
a
yeah.
combo kind of business thing. So you've got like a
Tavern on the bottom, orphanage on the top.
Yeah.
Like what you think?
The orphans can be barkeeps.
The problem is,
So I'm
Uh,
gonna say
Breton
that.
just like
Working for
Breton
me
just
does really
hands in face, just the idea, like that nobody is shooting down that idea on principle.
Well, I
Look,
fortunately
Kay worked
Teach
in her
um,
mother's bookstore since she was
Teach
like
him young.
A bookstore is not a tavern.
respect to the Brienne, both of you, actually respect to both of your places. It's really bloody cold, and I'm from the south and prefer the warm. So I think, you know, I'm gonna stay in Nardaville. Climate.
Well, that's my heart broken. I'm out. he just
You'll be welcome to visit any time, Your Majesty.
It'll be called the Five Fine Fish.
Keep workshopping that.
Fuck you, I like my alliterations.
and he picks up his
Should
hammer.
blow a
He
raspberry
picks
at him.
up his battle axe that was just like on the floor. And
Blow a
leaves.
raspberry at the king.
Just know if books could
Middle
kill.
fingers.
Just as
I
long as
hate
you
all
keep
of
to
this.
those what that means. Yeah. Just...
Anyway, Iolas is just kind of like,
Humans.
Yeah, sometimes I worry how we're managing to do this at all either.
I will forget him in a blink of an eye eventually. And then just
Jesus Christ.
Christ!
Oh my god.
That arrow was shot from long range.
That's
Use
that's
it
the,
up.
that's
That's
the
how he tends to do
coldest.
it.
That's the coldest thing to say to somebody you don't get along with. It's like I live so
Forget
long,
about
you
you.
don't exist in my mind. You are but a gnat in my life.
Yeah. That's his perspective on a lot of things.
Before Iolus
yeah.
goes, I would speak to him in Sylvan, and I would say his full name. I don't want to butcher it. Is the whole
Oh, his
whatever,
original.
you know which one to get. Yes, and I would say thank you for honoring me with roots in your court.
He says back to you. It is the job of a gardener to spread life and bring calm to what is barren and destroyed. With this lesson, I hope you do the same.
I will honor it always.
He nods. Please, if you need me or my family or anything of my service, please do not hesitate to get in touch. But for now, I must continue to prove that I'm alive and stop a granddaughter from invading the Rien.
Do I need to send you home?
I have it arranged, and then the druidess here, we get on well.
Okay.
May the winds be upon your back.
It was an honor to fight at your side, and while I hope we don't need to again, it would be an honor.
It has been many years since I have, too, fought in the company of others. Some great, some not so. You're certainly all up there.
But I will bow deeply at that.
But
She will then look-
for what it's worth, good luck, all of you. Seems the fate of the world is counting on it. And with that, he leaves.
We will start drawing out the circle for Lagran's land.
Okay. You do so. And with it,
Oh.
as all the chevrons encode.
Keep your arms and legs inside the circle at all times.
Sergeant Walter's voice ethereally comes out over.
Chevron 1 encoded.
Stable wormhole established.
Unscheduled off-world activation.
And you will
Close the
step
iris.
through as the iris closes
We
around
get
you.
pancake on the other side.
Look at hell. Anyway, you all appear in the
Vancouver.
the inside the lighthouse.
Why am I in a pyramid?
You all appear inside the lighthouse in Russian, looking across the bay. Construction. This is actually, a lot of you haven't seen this, but a lot of the construction of the harbor. Reconstruction of the harbor going really well. Skyships flying around, carrying like large like pallets of construction material. Like as everything is vibrant and how you remember Lagerung's land, just a techno haven.
Wait a
Abados
minute.
got to glow up.
Wait a minute. I'm banished from this place.
And with that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
That's awkward.
Back to prison for Gourd already.
They've still
Well,
got
it's nice
your,
to have
they've still got your
Gourd back
poster up.
for one session. Let's see what third character change he come up with.
Still got your poster up. Somebody just goes, "You there!"
Halt!
You violated the law.
Oh,
Like, wait,
oh,
wait, wait,
oh!
no, no,
You
no, no,
violated
no,
the
no, no.
law.
Halt!
Nope.
You violated the law.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Oh dear. Anyway, all I've got left to do tonight is to thank the people who have been here. So thank you to DM Lake, to the Kinda Otter, to Lord Lambert, to Commissar Roach, to Bethany Rose. We have also we will eventually have our lovely friend Ghibli Jam. We've also had a brief appearance from Mordred in chat. Absolutely wonderful for you to be back. Eventually we'll get Zep back. I've been Midgeman. This has been the Component Cast with the Elendor Chronicles Season 4. We're back, baby, and we will see you next week for more of this. Join us tomorrow for Lancer. Until then, have a good week, everybody, and may the dice forever be in your favor. So my mouse has stopped being able to click the stream, everybody. So I'm gonna have to find a way to end this. My mouse doesn't click at the moment. Yeah. So the rest of you can also now be heard as well. Hey guys, I'm trying to work out how to.
I'm
bring
glad
this
I
to an
looked
end
at the
card.
stream.
Yeah,
Wait, no, no, no.
Talking about
This
stuff.
had to happen.
panicking.
This had to happen, guys. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been.
It's been 2 weeks.
I don't know how to end this. I physically can't. I don't.
You gotta make yourself a new hotkey.
Yeah, but I can't do
You
that
can't-
without opening the tabs to do so.
Can you
Alt
just
F4?
what if
Alt
you just
F4.
Alt F4?
Hold on. I've
Yeah.
got one more plan.
Alt tab to it and then Alt F4.
I've worked it out. Okay, cool.